Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Narayana Educational Institutions. 4th of April 2026 and evening session, that is shift 2 paper, has started pouring in on the basis of memory of the students from Narayana. So some of the questions that we have got, we are here to discuss with you. There may be some discrepancy in terms of you may think that this was asked, that was asked. If there is such, kindly post in the comments. We would like to incorporate all those. So let's start. First, D block. See, manganese form oxide and fluoride with highest oxidation state. The difference in the highest oxidation state of manganese in the oxide and fluoride is. Now, this D and F block is continuously asked from 2nd of April. Both papers, 2nd of April morning, evening had D and F block questions. Again today morning had D and F and now again. So all those who are preparing for coming sessions, mark this particular chapter important. And the best part is whatever is coming is given in NCERT. Okay, so do not ignore that particular chapter. Coming to this particular question, manganese form oxide and fluoride with highest oxidation state. Okay, now which oxide is formed in which manganese has its highest possible oxidation state? So Mn2O7 is the oxide of manganese in which manganese shows its highest oxidation state of +7. Right, whereas if I talk of fluoride, I might expect MnF7, but you know, due to steric, 7 atoms cannot surround one central atom manganese here, so it do not form MnF7, it forms MnF4. MnF4, so here the oxidation state of manganese is +4. Right? Oxygen brings the central atom to much higher oxidation states as compared to halogens because it has the capacity of forming multiple bonds, and thereby less number of oxygen atoms can bring the central atom to higher oxidation state. Okay, so that is why in oxide you have +7, whereas in fluorine the best or the maximum oxidation state we can bring manganese to is +4 only. Okay, so coming to the difference as is asked in the question, that is 3. So let's see where is 3 in option C. So answer for this first question is C. All those who have read the NCERT will find the exact line in NCERT. Coming to next question, two atoms are bonding along z-axis. How will pi star orbital look like? Z is taken as an internuclear axis. What do we mean by pi star orbital? Pi star is the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, and I would say it is the pi anti-bonding molecular orbital. If it was a bonding pi molecular orbital, then we would have seen a shape across internuclear axis like this, right? But we are being asked what is the shape of anti-bonding pi MO. So that would be plus minus minus plus, because then the orbitals combine in opposite phase and the energy is increased. So it directly seemed to be third option again. Answer is 3. Right? Moving to question number third. Match the list 1 with list 2. Now list 1 is giving certain reagents by their name like toluene, phenyling. Of course, the third one must have been, I guess, is a Williamson reaction, not a reagent. Okay. And fourth is a Bayer's reagent. List 2 is what are the reagents used in this particular reagent or reaction. Fine. So, tolerance reagent. Now, what is tolerance reagent? Tolerance reagent is what we call is ammoniacal solution of silver nitrate. Ammoniacal solution of silver nitrate, that is diamine silver 1. Coming to the available options, diamine silver 1. In this, we have a complex of this nature. So, with first, we have to match Q. Later, we will match what all are available. Fellings reagent. Now, Fellings reagent. Fellings reagent is alkaline solution of copper sulfate. But as you know, alkaline copper sulfate will give you a blue precipitate of copper hydroxide. So we need to stabilize that particular copper hydroxide or the copper ions in the medium. For that we used Rochely salt, right? Rochely salt. What is Rochely salt? Sodium potassium tartrate. It forms some complex and stabilizes the copper 2 plus or brings the copper 2 plus in the medium. So with second we will match B. Coming to third, Williamson reaction. Williamson reaction is SN2 reaction, if you all remember, right? And it is method of preparation of ethers. Method of preparation of ethers. It is RONA reacts with alkyl halides by SN2. This is a nucleophile attacking on alkyl halide, and we have formation of ethers. So it seems S is the correct choice. Moving to fourth, Bayer's reagent. Now, what was Bayer's reagent? Bayer's reagent is cold, dilute, alkaline came in 4. Where is it used? Bayer's reagent is used for test of unsaturation. It is used for the test of unsaturation. So, R. Right? So, let us search first Q, second P, third S, fourth R. So, we got A as our answer. Okay. So, these type of some name reactions or some name reagent or test, this type of column match is coming in the papers ever since from January. It is not new. And in this session also, 2 papers had this type of questions. So, I think all the name reactions or the reagent which are given in NCERT, you all must have been thorough with it and you will not be facing any such problem. Okay. Which of the following will have the most stable conjugate acid? Now, all of these are having, see, amines, right? If all of these are having amines, then what is this conjugate acid is? So, RNH2 when react with some acid and converts itself to RNH3 plus. This is the conjugate acid they are asking. Now see, this conjugate acid has the positive charge on it, right? NH3 positive charge. So any electron releasing group present on the ring will stabilize this positive charge. I hope it is absolutely clear. Any electron releasing. So what we have to now check is, let us do a little work here itself. Let me form all of them as cations. Okay, these are my conjugate acids. It was not in the question. We are solving and making this plus. Now this OCH3, it is a plus R and minus I group, but its resonance dominates over minus I. Coming to nitro, it is a minus R greater than minus I. Oh, cation doesn't like electron withdrawing. So, this is not in the race. CH3 I will say it's a plus H greater than plus I group. Okay, but resonance is far better than hyperconjugation. So, no, third is not going to beat first. And as far as fourth, here is only hydrogen. I'll call it, it is a reference. It cannot be in the race like OCH3. So, tell me which one all of you found the most stable conjugate acid. It is first one. Okay, acidity basicity is important and it is to be done whenever and wherever you can. Please do it. Is that absolutely clear, everyone? Coming to next question, a little better, I would say. Excuse me. So, coming to this, as I said, a little better as it involves several reactions. Styrene is given to start the reaction. What? Bromine in chloroform. So, if bromine in chloroform, so it is becoming CHBr, CH2Br. Then they are saying excess NNH2. Now, what is this excess NNH2, bache? First, there will be dehydrohallucination. So, let me write with 2 NNH2, I will do C triple bond CCH. But this H is acidic. So, as they have given excess, I will proceed further and I will form the salt of this. So, this is formed. Okay. Now, it is CH3I. This is nucleophilic. It will attack here. I is removed. SN2 again. C triple bond C. CH3 is formed. Now, the famous sodium in liquid ammonia. Tell me which reaction is this? Again, NCERT has given both cis and trans alkenes to be prepared from alkynes. Reduction is given there. So, if you could remember, comment and tell. CH3, H and H. Transalkene. Which is this reaction? This is famous Birch reduction. Okay. Now, the question is, find the molecular mass of the product. We have to find the molecular mass of this product. It is C67899, H5678910, H10. Oh, 108, 10. So, answer is 118 direct. Is that clear? So, it is 118. A question from GOC. GOC is coming in the paper or in the questions today. The morning also had 2 questions. Again, there is 1 question, basic GOC question. So, I hope this you all would find easy. Compare the bond length. We have to be very clear whether they are asking bond order or bond length. Okay. Give proper time to chemistry. Read properly. Reading is very important. So, compare bond length of C double bond O. If we have to compare the bond length, let me tell you this first. This first has nothing as such except for I can say best I can guess in A is a ketoenol tautomerism. Right? It has maximum is ketoenol tautomerism. Though you remember the ketoenol tautomerism in this particular compound is of somewhat enol percentage is 10 to the power minus 8%. So, very negligible. I just want to tell that is the reason where this can acquire single bond. But as that contributor is negligible, so very, very pure double bond existence is here. More the double bond character, smaller will be the bond length. So, more the double bond character, smaller will be the bond length, right? So, here I will have high double bond character. Going to B. Now, see, B is tropolone and tropolone would happily polarize like this, and the structure in which this polarization is done, the resonating structure I want to meant that the resonating structure in which this polarization is done is generating aromatic cloud here. So, that structure is quite stable, or I should say most stable of all the RS for tropolone. If it is good contributor, there is a large single bond nature of carbonyl here. Okay, it has high single bond nature. High single bond nature, so we will have longer bond length. Coming to C, C doesn't have anything such, just 2 equivalent resonating structures in C. So, coming to conclude, the longest bond length is of B, then I will say C, then I will say A. Now search BAC, no BCA. ABC, no BCA. Okay, so it seems answer is C. Okay, I hope you all understood how we did. We compared the contribution of various structures which will bring single bond nature or single bond character to given structures. Next is, as I said, again the column type question. Column 1 has some compounds given and column 2 name of some test or some reagent. Now pH and H2 among the column 2 available names, the best match would be Hinsberg's reagent, right? Hinsberg's reagent is benzene, or I can say tosyl sulfonyl chloride. It is used to distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary amines. Primary and secondary form white precipitate with Hinsberg and tertiary form no precipitate. Then out of those two precipitate, primary on addition of NaOH or any base further dissolves. So that is how we identify. So first match is with P. Second, tolerance reagent can be used to identify it. Okay, so second, as we have just discussed tolerance few questions back, I think you must be remembering that. So second matches with Q. Felling's reagent do not give test with aromatic aldehydes. Tollens gives, and here they are using Tollens reagent. So correct. Coming to third, that is phenol. Phenol gives phthalate dye test. What is phthalate dye test? We take phenol, okay, 2 moles of phenol are consumed, but we simply take phenol and we take phthalic anhydride, treat it with concentrated H2SO4, we get HPH, phenolphthalein is formed. This phenolphthalein, if you make slightly alkaline, like pH, roughly I think 8.5 to 10.5 is the zone, you get pink color. If you further add concentrated NaOH or increase the concentration of NaOH, you increase the pH, then again it becomes colorless. Okay, so that particular range is important. Particular range from 8.5 to 10.5, it gives pink color. So we use the formation of this this phenolphthalein and confirm phenol. So phthalate dye test, this is what phthalate dye test goes with. So third and S. Coming to fourth, it is Lucas reagent. What is Lucas reagent? It is concentrated HCl plus anhydrous ZnCl2. What happens? Alcohols form alkyl chloride. Faster they form, faster the turbidity, white turbidity in the solution appears. So 2-degree alcohol is given. Only after boiling we will have turbidity. 3-degree instantaneous, and 1-degree let me correct. I should have said 3-degree give instantaneous turbidity, 2-degree after 5 to 10 minutes, and if it was a primary alcohol, then no turbidity in cold, only after boiling. Correct? So that is how we use this Lucas reagent to identify which degree of alcohol is given in the question or is given as an unknown compound in laboratory. So fourth matches with R. So PQSR. PQSR answer is A again. Okay. Coming to next question. Carbohydrate it is, product of D. Now D, capital D, it is not small d. For capital D, what is the definition? In the correct, conventionally correct Fisher representation of a particular monosaccharide, if the highest IUPAC numbered OH is on the right hand side of the weir, then it is D sugar. If that OH is on the left, then it is called capital L sugar. So D-aldotetrose. So it should be aldehyde. It should be 4-carbon tetrose with concentrated HNO3 gives optically inactive dicarboxylic acid. Now if you remember that whatever in between bottommost CH2OH, if you treat it with bromine water, you will get only CHO oxidized to COH, CH2OH remains same. Okay, that is called aldonic acids, or for glucose it is called gluconic acid. Whereas with concentrated HNO3, it oxidizes both top COH, CHO to COH, and bottom 1 degree CH2OH also to COH. Now it is asked optically inactive. So it should have a plane of symmetry. It should act as a meso. By that logic of meso, third and fourth are to be eliminated directly, because even if these two up and down become COH, it will not give us the meso compound. So third and fourth are totally out of the race. Coming to 1 and 2, yes, both 1 and 2, let me change the color and see if it appears properly. If I change this to COH and this also to COH, yes, it will have a plane of symmetry. Similarly, if this COH and this also to COH, again this has a plane of symmetry. So my two choices which are still in contest is first and second. How to distinguish and define between first and second? First, of course, seems to be the correct answer, as the given fissure is the conventionally correct, and the highest IUPAC numbered this OH is on the right hand side. So first is the answer. Now what is incorrect with second? Well, this second, if I will convert it to the correct what? Conventionally correct, I have to rotate it in the plane of paper by 180 degree. CHO going up. As a result, this is what the conventionally correct fissure of option number 2 is. If so, this OH is coming on the left hand side, so it is an L-aldotetrose. Okay, it is an L-aldotetrose. That is why second cannot be your answer. Conclusion, answer is first one. Okay, so let us move to my other colleagues who are ready with further questions.
Now let's look at some questions from mathematics.
Good evening, student. Now today this JEE Main second session SIP 2. Look this question. If the system of equations, this three system of linear equation is given 3, right, and has infinite number of solutions, right, then system of linear equations will have infinite number of solutions if all the three plane will pass through a common line. In that case, the delta, the determinant, right, must be the 0, right, delta must be the 0. So right now is 1, 1, 1. Coefficient of x we are writing in first column, coefficient of y we write in the second column, and coefficient of z we write in the third column, right. So very easy to find out this determinant, equate with 0. So apply the here the property of determinant and apply the operations. R1 is replaced by R1 minus R2, and then R2 is replaced by R2 minus R3. Why we are doing like that? Because we try to make the more number of 0 along a row and column. So 0, here is the minus 1 and minus 2 will come, 0 minus 1 and 3 minus lambda, 1, 3 and lambda will come. Write the determinant, expansion of this determinant along first column. So here it will come 1 and we will multiply it, then lambda minus 3 minus 2, that will be the 0. So lambda is equal to 5 will come. And now is saying the lambda plus mu also. So not only delta will be 0 in case of infinitely many solutions, delta 1 and delta 2 and delta 3 all four will be 0, and their geometrical meaning is all the three plane will pass through a common line. So right, so do one thing to minimize the calculations. Right here 1, 1, 1 first column, write as it is, coefficient of x, coefficient of y, write 1, 2, 3, and this is the delta 3, right, and the coefficient of z replaced by the constant term. So 5, 9 and mu will come. What is the advantage here? Advantage is in the first column all the three elements are 1. Again apply the same operations. R1 is replaced by R1 minus R2, corresponding elements are subtracted, and R2 is replaced by R2 minus R3, right. So 0 will come, minus 1 will come, minus 4 will come, 0 minus 1 will come, 9 minus mu is 1, 3 mu. This must be the 0. So again write the expansion along the first column, right. So it will come mu minus 9 and minus 4. So there is equal to 0. So mu is equal to 13 came, and asking lambda plus mu, lambda is 5 and mu is 13, then answer is 18 will come. So right, the first option is correct. Now come for the next question. Is asking the number of non-negative integral solution. Non-negative integral solutions, okay, we have result of n plus r minus 1 cr minus 1, but this here, this due to this 2, okay, we can't apply this result indirectly. And here 22, and what we can do, the value of c we can take, the value of c we can take 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 11 we can take, right. So start from the 0. If we take the C0, you know this is the non-negative integral solutions. Here is the, right, or you can say the n number of identical object we have to distribute among r persons. Any person can get any number of object. This is the result. So C is equal to 0, then A plus B, here it is equal to 22 will come. So in that case non-negative integral solution will come 22, n is 22 here, r is 2, n minus 1, c2 minus 1. So here 23 c1 will come, right. Then r is c is equal to 1. Observe the pattern here, a plus b, c is 1, so 2 will come, then here 20 will come. So in that case number of non-negative integral solution is 20 plus 2 minus 1 c2 minus 1. You know 20 plus 2, here is the 22, sorry, 22, just 22 minus 1, so 21 c1. If you will take c is equal to 2, then a plus b, 4 will be subtracted, then 18 will left, right. So there in that case number of non-negative integral solution is 18 plus 2 minus 1 c2 minus 1. So it will come 20, right. So 19 c1. Look it, here is 23 is coming, here is 21 is coming, with the difference of 2 is running, right. So maximum what we can take, if I will take C is 11, then A plus B is equal to 0 will come. In that case, only one solutions will come when A and B both will be 0. And before that, if we take C is equal to 10, then A plus B, here 2 will come. So in that case, non-negative integral solution is 2 plus 2 minus 1, C 2 minus 1, right? Is 3C 1 will come. So the sum is 1 plus 2 plus, sorry, not the 1 plus 2 plus, odd number are coming, 1 plus 3 plus, and is 5 will come, and we are reaching up to 23. So number of terms in this series is from here 0 to 11. Total number of terms are 12 terms in this series, right? So total is multiply from the first and last term, sum is 24, number of terms is 12 divided by 2, so is 24 into 6, and 6 4 2 is 144. So 144 is the correct answer. Option 2 is correct. Now come on the questions third, and this is the very easy questions asking the value of this total what will come. So this is the alpha, this is the series infinite geometric progressions with the common ratio is half. Here is also the infinite geometric progressions with the common ratio is 1 by 3. So write what will be the value of alpha. First write here, first term is 1 by r. So s infinity, sum of infinite terms of geometric progressions. This result is valid when magnitude of common ratio is less than 1. So 1 by 4, 1 minus 1 by, here common ratio is 2. So what will come, 1 by 4 into 2 by 1 is equal to 1 by 2 will come, and the value of beta will come. The value of beta, first term is 1 by 3, 1 minus 1 by 3 is equal to 1 by 3 into 3 by 2, that is also half. So alpha and beta both came equal. Now try to write 0.2. What we can write, 0.2 is equal to 2 by 10 is equal to 1 by 5 is equal to 5 to the power minus 1. So the first part is 5 to the power minus 1 and whole to the power log alpha, here root 5, right? So 5 to the power minus 1, and right, this is the half is the exponent of the base. So after multiplications, here 2 will come, right? Log 5 base, log alpha base 5. So finally write here log, here is alpha to the power minus 2 and base 5, and the result is alpha square minus alpha square. So 1 by alpha square will come. Similarly, try to simplify the second part, 0.04, right? So is 100 will come here, 1 by 25 will come, and this is the 5 to the power minus 2. So base is 5 to the power minus 2, and then whole is log beta base 5, right? So 5 to the power minus 2 log beta base 5. So again the same result. Here is the beta to the power minus 2 means 1 by beta square will come. So alpha and beta both you have seen is half is coming. So 1 by alpha square plus 1 by beta square, here 1 by alpha is 2 will come, 2 to the square, 4 plus 4 is 8 will come. Answer is 8. 8 is the correct answer, right? Now come on the next. This is the questions. In the expansions, the coefficient of the term independent of x. Independent of x means the exponent of x must be 0. And here the pattern, the exponent of x will not follow the pattern because x is present in the first part and root x is present in the second part in the denominator in the binomial expansion. So first we will try to write the general term, and this is the positive integral index. Index is 18. So general term is tr plus 1 is equal to 18cr. The first part is 9x, and the 9x, their exponent will be 18 minus r and minus 1 by 3. Be careful in the calculations, right? So this is the, so the tr plus 1, this is the r, we don't know r is odd or even, so write minus 1 to the power r, 18cr, and 9 to the power 18 minus r, and at this stage 3 to the power minus r will come, and total exponent of x is x to the power 18 minus r, and this is the root x in the denominator, right? So minus r by 2 will come. So collect the coefficient of, collect the coefficient of now this is the exponent of x. So exponent of x 18 minus 3r by 2, that must be 0, right? So here it is a 18 is equal to 3r by 2, then r is equal to 12 is coming, means even, right? So the 13 term will be the independent of x. So r is 12. So here r will come, right? So this will become plus. So 18c 12 came, right? And 9 to the power 18 minus, this is the 12, and here 3 to the power, we will write 3 to the power 12, right? And x is, right? So 18, so 9 to the power, here is 6 is coming, 9 to the power 6, and in the denominator is 3 to the power 12. So this is the 3 to the power, so this is the cancel, na? This is the cancel, right? Because 3 to the power 12, we can write 3 square whole to the power 6. So is the 9 to the power 6. So it's cancelled. So total, this is the cancelled. So the term independent of x is 18c12 only, this binomial coefficient left here. So right now factorial 18 by factorial here is the 12 into factorial 6. So 18 into 17 into 16 into 15 into, right, 14 into 13, right, divided by factor 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 is there, right? 1 no need to write now for cancellations. 6 into 3, that is 18, cancelled, right? And 4 and 2, 8, so divided by 2, here 5, here is 3 will come. And one more thing is asking 221, observation is 221 is the multiplication of 17 into 13. So remove it. So 17 into 13 is 221. Rest of the term is coming, right? Rest of the term is coming 2 into 3, that is the 6, and 6 into 14. So 14 into 6, you multiply it. So 14 into 6, that is the 4, right? 4 and 2, 84. 84 is the correct answer. Thank you.
Now let's look at some questions from mathematics.
Okay, welcome back. So in this question, they're asking that if root 3i comma 1 are roots of this cubic equation, and they're giving that a, b, c are real numbers. So this is a cubic equation whose all coefficients are real numbers, because the coefficient of x cube is already 1, it's real number. So all the other coefficients are real numbers. So what is the theory point that we have here? If all the coefficients of a cubic equation are real, then the complex roots occur in pairs or conjugate pairs. So if the coefficients are real numbers, the complex roots have to occur in conjugate pairs. That means one is a root 3i is a complex root. The other root has to be minus root 3i, the conjugate of root 3i. So we can conclude that the roots are 1, root 3i and minus root 3i. So once the roots are known, we can construct the corresponding cubic equation. So it will be x minus 1 into x minus root 3i into x plus root 3i. So a plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. Root 3i into root 3i is minus 3, which is x square plus 3. So the cubic equation would be x cube minus x square plus 3x minus 3. So now once we have the cubic equation, you are asked to integrate this. So integration minus 1 to 1 x cube minus x square plus 3x minus 3 dx. So clearly now, because the limits are of the form minus a to plus a, all odd functions, if the integrand is an odd function, the integral value is 0. So this integration of x cube will be 0, integration of 3x will be 0. So we just need to integrate the other two terms. So for the other two terms, you can write it as 2 times integration 0 to 1 minus of x square plus 3 dx. This minus goes out, so you can do the integration, which is equal to minus 2 times integration 0 to 1 x square plus 3 dx. So which is equal to minus 2 times x cube by 3 plus 3x going from 0 to 1. So I hope you can go forward and do the calculation. So you can get the answer as minus 20 by 3. So I hope you have understood this question. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question is also from definite integration. So integration minus 1 to 1 cot inverse of 1 plus x square. So the integrand is a inverse trigonometric function. So directly integrating cot inverse of 1 plus x square would be difficult. So here first we are going to use the concepts of inverse trigonometric functions to simplify this cot inverse of 1 plus x square. So just look at how I am going to simplify this. Cot inverse of 1 plus x square can be written as tan inverse of 1 by 1 plus x square. So this can be written as tan inverse of 1 by 1 plus x into 1 plus x. Now I will write this as tan inverse of, so the numerator 1 can be written as x plus 1 minus x by 1 plus x plus 1 into x. So now this is looking like tan inverse of b minus a by 1 plus ba. So this is a standard formula in inverse trigonometric functions. So this will become tan inverse of x plus 1 minus tan inverse of x. So now I am going to substitute this integration minus 1 to 1 tan inverse of x plus 1 minus tan inverse of x dx. So again we are going to use the concept if the limits are of the form minus a to plus a and the integrand is an odd function. So your integral value will be 0. So clearly tan inverse x is an odd function in this. So integration minus 1 to plus 1 tan inverse of x would be 0. You don't need to do this. So this is simply integration minus 1 to 1 tan inverse of x plus 1 dx. I'm not very interested in complicating the integration. So first what I'll do is I'll take x plus 1 is equal to t. So this becomes dx will be equal to dt. So the integral will change to integration. So because x plus 1 is equal to t, the limits are going to change to 0 to 2. Tan inverse of, I'll put x itself, x dx. So integration minus 1 to 1 tan inverse of x plus 1 is same as integration 0 to 2 tan inverse x dx. So now we can integrate this using integration by parts. All of you know what integration by parts is. So I'll take into 1. So this is u, this is v. So u integral v x tan inverse x. So u integral v minus integral of du by dx 1 by 1 plus x square into integration of v is x dx. So you can multiply this with 2 and have a 1 by 2. So this is going to become x tan inverse x minus half times. So you can see that you can see why I have multiplied and divided with 2. So 1 plus x square's differentiation is 2x. So the answer is directly log mod 1 plus x square. So going from limits 0 to 2. So clearly on substitution you get 2 tan inverse 2 minus half ln 5 minus, if you put 0, you can very clearly see that both the terms are becoming 0. So there is nothing left here. So 2 tan inverse 2 minus half ln 5 is the answer. So first option is the answer. So hope you have understood the working part of this. Now let's go to the next question. Okay, this is the question from statistics. You are given, let x1, x2, x3 and x10 are 10 observations. You are given 10 observations and there are two informations corresponding to these 10 observations. You have sigma 1 to 10 xi minus 1 whole square is equal to 90, sigma 1 to 10 xi plus 2 whole square is equal to 180. So from these two informations, you are asked to find the standard deviation of x1, x2, x3, so on up to x10. So we clearly know that the formula for standard deviation is root of variance, and variance is nothing but sigma xi square by n minus x bar square. Okay, or you can write it as, in our particular question, sigma xi by sigma xi square by n is 10 in our case, sigma xi square by 10 minus x bar is nothing but sigma xi by 10 whole square. So in this question, we will be interested in finding sigma xi square and sigma xi. So for that, we are going to use the given information. So first information, sigma of I equal to 1 to 10. So sometimes I'll skip this 1 to 10. Assume that you know what I is going from 1 to 10. So xi minus 1 whole square, you can write as xi square minus 2xi plus 1. So this is equal to 90. So this will imply sigma xi square minus 2 times sigma xi. So sigma can be separated over addition and subtraction, plus sigma 1 is equal to 10, because there are 10 observations, is equal to 90. So this is the first information. The next information is sigma xi plus 2 whole square is equal to 180, which implies, I'll expand this also, sigma xi square plus 4xi plus 4 is equal to 180. So this becomes sigma xi square plus 4 times sigma xi plus sigma 4 is 4 into 10, 40 is equal to 180. So this is the second information. So these are clearly two linear equations in sigma xi square and sigma xi. We can solve them to get sigma xi square and sigma xi. So let us subtract one from the other. If you subtract one from the other, 6 sigma xi plus 30 is equal to 90. So sigma xi is equal to 10. I hope all of you can do this. And once you put sigma xi is equal to 10 in any one of the equation, sigma xi square is equal to 180 minus 40 minus 40, which is equal to 100. So once you got sigma xi square and sigma xi, the problem is done. So you just have to plug in these two values into this equation. So this is equal to 100 by 10 is 10 minus sigma xi by 10 is 1. So the variance is 9, but you should not put 9 as the answer, because the standard deviation is asked. The standard deviation is square root of variance, right? So square root of 9 is 3. So I hope you have understood this question, right? So next, let us go to the next part. So this is a question on areas. Both the curves are standard parabolas, but there is a minus here. Okay, so first parabola is x is equal to minus 2y square. The second parabola is x is equal to 1 minus 4y square. They are asking the area bound by these two curves. So let us try to construct the diagram for this. Let us try to draw the graphs of these two, rough graphs, so that we understand what is being asked. So first parabola is quite easy. That is like y square is equal to minus x by 2, right? It's of the form y square is equal to minus 4x. So it's a left-handed parabola. It opens to the left side. Okay, so you can draw it like this. So this is like y square is equal to minus x by 2. So now let us take the second parabola. It is like 4y square is equal to 1 minus x. This implies y square is equal to 1/4 of 1 minus x can be written as minus of x minus 1. So this is also of the form y square is equal to minus 4x. So this is also a left-handed parabola, but in the place of x there is x minus 1. That means the vertex has gone to 1, 0. So the vertex is 1 comma 0 this time. So can you see that the lattice rectum of the first parabola is 1 by 2. The lattice rectum of second parabola is 1 by 4. That means the second parabola is slightly thinner. So we can expect the parabola to be a lot thinner than this first parabola. So this is how the parabolas will look like. They are asking you to find the region bounded by these two curves. So clearly from symmetry you can say that the area is 2 times this checked area. So now I think this area is it's better to find this area using y direction, right? So to get that I'll find the point of intersection first. So to get the point of intersection I'll equate the values of y square. So minus x by 2 is equal to minus 1 by 4 times x minus 1, right? So minus minus is gone, 2. So 2x is equal to x minus 1, which implies x is equal to minus 1. So for the point of intersection, the x value is minus 1. But we are interested in the y value because we are going to integrate in y direction. So once you put x is equal to minus 1, y square is equal to 1 by 2, y is equal to plus or minus 1 by root 2. So this will be plus 1 by root 2, and this point will correspond to minus 1 comma minus 1 by root 2. Now anyway we are interested in the top area. So the area can be written as 2 times twice integration 0 to 1 by root 2. So we are integrating in y direction, 0 to 1 by root 2. Right side curve minus left side curve. So what is the right side curve? You have to write the curve in terms of x is equal to g of y. So 1 minus 4y square. If you want to find the area with respect to y direction, you have to write curves in the form of x is equal to f of y. So the first curve is x is equal to 1 minus 4y square, that's the right curve, minus left curve, minus of minus 2y square, which is plus 2y square dy is equal to 2 times integration 0 to 1 by root 2, 1 minus 2y square dy, which is equal to twice y minus 2 by 3 y cube, going from 0 to 1 by root 2. So I hope you can do the calculations. So if you just plug in the numbers, you will get the area as 2 root 2 by 3. So that's the answer to this question. So welcome back students. So let's go to the next question. So the question goes like this. Consider a right angle triangle ABC inscribed in a parabola x square is equal to 16y such that 8 comma 4 is the vertex of the right angle triangle. The eccentricity of the locus of the centroid of this triangle is what? So let us try to construct this question. Let us try to draw a diagram and understand what this question is about. So they are saying that you have a parabola x square is equal to 16y. So clearly we know that x square equal to 16y is a vertical parabola. So on this it seems there is a point A 8 comma 4. This is the right vertex of a right angle triangle. That means you can have many triangles. If you consider a chord through A like this, the other chord has to be perpendicular to this. Here 90 degrees has to be maintained. So you can extend this. So you can see that the other point is this. So this is C, this is B. So this is an example right angle triangle that we're talking about. So as you move this chord, the second chord also comes down and up according to the chord AB. So the main condition of the locus is that you have to maintain 90 degrees here. And the second is the triangle is inscribed in the parabola. So under these two conditions, if the triangle is moving, what is the locus of the centroid? They're indirectly saying that the locus is a conic section. They're asking to find the eccentricity. So let us construct this question. So let us take these points in parametric form. So x square is equal to 4ay, the parametric point on it is 2at comma at square. So clearly a is 4 here. So the parametric point is 8t comma 4t square, right? So this point is, I'll take point B as 8t1 square comma 4t1 square, and the second point as 8t2 square comma 4t2. So now let us construct the equations. First equation is slope of AC into slope of AB is equal to -1, which implies 4 times T2 minus 1 by 8 times T2 square minus 1. That's the slope of AC, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, into 4 times T1 minus 1 by 8 times T2 T1 square minus 1 is equal to -1. So I can do some cancellations here. T2 minus 1 also gets cancelled if you see carefully. So T2 plus 1. Here also T1 minus 1 gets cancelled, T2 plus 1. So this implies if you go for cross multiplication, okay, I have taken this point as 8t comma 4t square. So just a small mistake, 8t2 comma 4t2 square. That's the parametric point. 8t1 comma 4t1 square. So let us just do the calculations. So what does the slope become? 4 times t2 square minus 1 by 8 times t2 minus 1 into 4 times t1 square minus 1 by 8 times t1 minus 1 is equal to -1. So if you do the cancellations, so you get t1 plus 1 into t2 plus 1 is equal to -4. So this is the first condition for perpendicularity. Now let us say that x comma y is the locus point at the centroid. So what is the formula for centroid? X is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So the sum of x coordinates 8 times 1 plus t1 plus t2 by 3, and y is equal to 4 times 1 plus t1 square plus t2 square by 3. So from these three equations, you should try to eliminate t1 and t2 to get the locus. So this implies t1 plus t2 is equal to 3x by 8 minus 1, right? And t1 square plus t2 square is equal to 3y by 4 minus 1. So the connection between t1 and t2 is t1 t2 plus t1 plus t2 plus 1 is equal to -4 is equal to -5. So now this t1 plus t2 is, this can be directly substituted. So we need an expression for t1 t2. So we know that t1 2t1 t2 is equal to t1 plus t2 whole square minus of t1 square plus t2 square. So which is equal to 3x minus 8 by 8 whole square minus of 3y minus 4 by 4. So now we'll substitute all this into the given equation. So I'll multiply this with 2. So this is going to become like this. So 2t1 t2, 3x minus 8 by 8 whole square minus of 3y minus 4 by 4. This is t2 t1 t2 plus 2 times t1 plus t2 plus 2 times t1 plus t2 is 3x minus 8 by 8 is equal to -5. So at this point, you don't need to waste further time in trying to simplify this equation. So now you can very clearly see that you have a y here and you have a quadratic in x here. So whatever simplifications you do, finally you will end up with y as some quadratic of x. So y as a quadratic of x, you know that it is a parabola, right? So we know that even without further simplifying, we know that you're getting y as a quadratic of x, which is a parabola which has eccentricity is equal to 1. So the eccentricity of the locus of centroid is equal to 1 is the answer. So at this point, if you do that observation, it will save a lot of time for you. So hope you have understood this question. So now let us go to the next one. So this is a question from permutations and combinations. 3 distinct numbers are chosen at random from the first 31 natural numbers 1, 2, 3 up to 31. If the probability that the selected numbers, when arranged in increasing order, forms an arithmetic progression is a by b, they are asking you what is a plus b. So in the actual question, you should be given that a by b is in the simplest form. So we will assume that a by b is in the simplest form. Okay. So now it's a very standard question. This has been already asked in previous years. So the denominator, you are selecting 3 distinct numbers, right? In how many ways can you select 3 distinct numbers? Out of 31, 31 C3. That's the denominator. Now what are the favorable cases? You should select 3 numbers such that when arranged in ascending order, they form a arithmetic progression. So there is a very simple trick to find the number of ways. So you are selecting 3 numbers, right? So for them to form an arithmetic progression, so what I'll say is I'll select only the first number and second number. And b is nothing but a plus c by 2, right? So once you select the first and last number, the middle number of AP is not in your hands. It is already obtained by the formula of arithmetic mean. So our aim is only to select A and C such that A plus C is even, because A plus C by 2 has to be also an integer. So you just have to select 2 numbers such that A plus C is even. So when will the sum of 2 numbers be even? Think about it. So the sum of 2 numbers is even if either both are even or both are odd. That means you have to select either 2 even numbers or 2 odd numbers. So out of 31, from 1 to 31, if you see, there will be 16 odd numbers plus 15 even numbers. So to form an AP, to count the number of ways in which 3-term APs can be formed, you just have to select 2 numbers which are both odd or both even. So the total number of favorable cases are 16C2 plus 15C2. So you just have to do this calculation, get A and B and find what is A plus B. So I hope you can do this calculation by yourself, right? So that after this, we'll go to the next question. So the next question is from continuity and differentiability. You are given a function, piecewise defined, less than 0, one definition, greater than 0, another definition. Then g of x is equal to f of mod x plus mod f of x, graphical transformation concept. So g of x is some sort of transformed graph of f of x. Alpha and beta are the number of points where g of x is discontinuous and non-differentiable respectively. You are asked to find alpha plus beta. So first step is, let us try to get the graph of this. So you know the graph of e power x minus 1. See, this is e power x graph. E power x minus 1, 1 unit. E power x graph goes down by 1 unit. So this is the graph of e power x minus 1. And what is the graph of x square minus 5x plus 6? It is a parabolic graph. Okay, 2 and 3 are the roots, right? So this is the graph of x square minus 5x plus 6. So it seems that this y is equal to e power x minus 1 graph is valid when x less than 0. And when x is greater than 0, this particular quadratic graph is valid. So now what we do is we will combine these graphs and draw the effective graph of f of x. So the effective graph of f of x is like this. When x is less than 0, you have to take this graph. So the graph is like this. So clearly you can see that x is strictly less than 0. That means there is a hollow dot here. And when x is greater than or equal to 0, you have the quadratic. This is starting from 6. So you have a solid dot here, and this is 2 and this is 3. So this is the graph of f of x. So once you have the graph of f of x, you will get the graph of g of x. So g of x is equal to f of mod x plus mod of f of x. So now let us do the graphical transformation. So how does the graph of f of mod x looks like? So x is replaced with mod x. So what is the transformation that happens? The graph on the left side of y-axis disappears and it will be replaced by the image of the graph on the right side about the y-axis. So f of mod x graph will be something like this. So the left side graph e power x minus 1 is gone. So the right side graph, which is the parabolic graph, it gets reflected about y-axis and it replaces the e power x minus 1 graph. So this is the graph of f of mod x. Then what is the graph of mod f of x? So mod f of x graph, what happens is the graph which is below the x-axis gets reflected above the x-axis. So if you take the graph like this, so e power x minus 1 graph, this gets reflected to the above x-axis. So it goes hollow dot, it goes like this. Next, the graph below x-axis gets reflected. Here also it gets reflected like this. So it starts with this, so it goes like this. So when mod comes to the complete f of x, the graph which is below x-axis gets reflected about the x-axis. That's the concept of graphical transformation. So now you have f of mod x and mod of f of x. So now you are adding these two. So clearly you can see that when you add two functions, if the first function is continuous and the second function is continuous, then the effective function is always continuous. So you can see that the critical points for f of mod x is only x is equal to 0. Okay, and the critical points for mod f of x is x is equal to 0, 2, 3. So apart from these points, at all other points f of x is automatically continuous and differentiable. So at these 3 points we have to check. So clearly at x equal to 0, the first function is continuous but the second function is discontinuous. So one continuous function plus one discontinuous function is discontinuous. So x is equal to 0 is discontinuity. Discontinuity means non-differentiable also. So it is a discontinuous point as well as non-differentiable point. Next, x equal to f of mod x is continuous and differentiable. Mod f of x is continuous but not differentiable. So both are continuous. So the function is continuous. The addition is continuous. One is differentiable, the other is non-differentiable. So the summation function is not differentiable. So x is equal to 1. It is continuous and non-differentiable. Okay. Same is the case with x is equal to 3. So x equal to 3, the first function is also continuous, second function is also continuous. So x equal to 3 is a continuous point, right? And first is differentiable, second is not differentiable. So non-differentiable. So there is only one point of discontinuity. There are 3 points of non-differentiability. So alpha is equal to 1, beta is equal to 3. So the total alpha plus beta is equal to 4. So I hope you have understood this question. So next, let us go to the next one. So this is a very simple question on quadratic equations. If quadratic lambda plus 2 times x square minus 3 lambda x plus 4 lambda equal to 0 has 2 positive roots, then the number of integral values of lambda. So both roots are positive, that's the condition. So if both roots are positive, the sum has to be greater than 0. The product also has to be greater than 0. Those are the conditions. And delta, the roots have to be positive. Delta greater than 0. or you can say delta greater than or equal to 0. Okay, this is the condition. Delta greater than or equal to 0 is the condition for real roots. Alpha plus beta greater than 0 and alpha beta greater than 0 is the condition for roots being positive. So let us apply the conditions. So sum of the roots 3 lambda by lambda plus 2 is greater than 0. 4 lambda by lambda plus 2 is greater than 0. B square 9 lambda square minus 4ac 4 into 4 lambda into lambda plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. So lambda by lambda plus 2 greater than 0. The second equation is also lambda by lambda plus 2 is greater than 0. So using wavy curve, we can say that the value of lambda should be outside the roots. That means outside 0 and minus 2. So lambda has to lie outside 0 and minus 2. So that's the solution for the first two equations. So let's go and solve the next equation. So 9 lambda square minus 16 lambda square, right? Minus 16 lambda square minus 32 lambda greater than or equal to 0. Minus 7 lambda square minus 32 lambda greater than or equal to 0. 7 lambda square plus 32 lambda greater than less than or equal to 0. I've multiplied with a negative sign. So lambda into 7 lambda plus 32 less than or equal to 0. So quadratic less than 0, lambda lies between the roots. So lambda belongs to minus 32 by 7 comma 0. So that's the second solution of the second condition. So minus 32 by 7 is minus 4 point something. So this is, if you take this as minus 4, somewhere here you will have minus 32 by 7. So the second solution is lambda belongs to minus 32 by 7 and 0. So what is the intersection of these two solutions? So lambda belongs to minus 32 by 7 comma minus 2 open. So in this interval, how many integers are there? You can very easily count them. So you have minus 4 and only minus 3, because you have an open minus 2, and in the question also it's specifically given that lambda is not equal to minus 2. So lambda belongs to minus 32 by 7 to minus 2. So there are only two integer values in between these two numbers. So the number of integral values of lambda is equal to 2 is the answer. So next, let us go to the next question. So what is the shortest distance between the two lines? So r bar is equal to a bar plus lambda b bar. R bar is equal to c bar plus mu d bar. So there is a very standard formula for shortest distance. So shortest distance is equal to box of a bar minus c bar, b bar, d bar divided by mod of b bar cross d bar. This is a very standard formula. So you just have to subtract these two vectors. So the first vector is having components 1 by 3, 2 and 8 by 3. C bar is minus 2 by 3, 0 minus 1 by 3. So what is the subtraction? A bar minus C bar. The subtraction of these two is clearly 1, 2, 3. So box product, will calculate box product. We know that it can be calculated using determinant. So 1, 2, 3. B bar is 2 minus 5, 6. C bar is 0, 1 minus 1 divided by mod of b bar cross d bar ijk 2 minus 5, 6, 0, 1 minus 1. So you can very easily do this calculation. I hope this is equal to 1 times 5 minus 6 is minus 1, minus 2 times minus 2 plus 3 times 2 divided by root of minus 1 whole square. These are the components. These are the components of b bar cross d bar plus 2 square plus 2 square. So you get 9 by 3, which is equal to 3 is the answer. So this formula is very important because shortest distance is a very frequently asked question. So I hope those of you have not attended Those of you who have exams of after April 4th, keep this formula in mind. This will be very useful. This might be very useful in your exam. Next question is find the maximum value of this expression. Trigonometric based question. You're asked to find the maximum value of this trigonometric expression. So what we do is E is equal to 16 sin x by 2 cos cube x by 2. So you can directly do the differentiation and see where the critical points are, where the turning points are. Otherwise, we can try to simplify this before going for differentiation. So 8 times 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2 into cos square x by 2, right? That's equal to 4 times this becomes sin x, and 1 2 I'll give it to cos square x by 2. 2 cos square x by 2 is equal to 4 sin x into 2 cos square x by 2 is 1 plus cos x. So now this trigonometric expression is slightly more manageable. So we will go for differentiation. So let us try to plot the graph in 0 to pi. So let's go for differentiation. Let us see where the turning points are. So the differentiation sin x times 1 plus cos x differentiation is minus sin x plus 1 plus cos x times cos x is equal to 0. So cos x plus cos square x minus sin square x is equal to 0. This implies cos x plus cos 2x is equal to 0. This implies 2 cos c plus cos d is 2 cos c plus d by 2 cos c minus d by 2. 2 cos 3x by 2 into cos x by 2 is equal to 0. So cos 3x by 2 is equal to 0 or cos x by 2 is equal to 0. So clearly x belongs to 0 to pi. So 3x by 2 belongs to 0 to 3 pi by 2. So within 0 to 3 pi by 2, where is cos 0? Cos is 0 at 0 and 3 pi by 2. So 3x by 2 is equal to either pi by 2 or 3 pi by 2, which implies x is equal to either pi by 3 or pi. Either pi by 3 or pi. Similarly, cos x by 2 is equal to 0. So x belongs to 0 to pi, we have to find x by 2 in between 0 and pi by 2. So if x by 2 is in between 0 and pi by 2 and cos x by 2 has to be 0, x by 2 has to be equal to pi by 2. So x is equal to pi. So the turning points are pi by 3 and pi. So if you think of graph of this, at x equal to 0, if you put x equal to 0, it starts from 0, right? And at x equal to pi, so it goes to 16, sin pi by 2 is 1, cos x is equal to pi. So x by 2 is pi by 2, cos pi by 2 is 0. That means at pi also the value is 0. And where is the turning point? At pi by 3. So what is the value at pi by 3? So E is equal to 16 sin pi by 3 by 2. Sin pi by 6 is root. Sin pi by 6 is 1 by 2 into, right? X is pi by 3. So x by 2 is pi by 6. Sin pi by 6 is 1 by 2 into cos pi by 3 by 2, which is pi by 6. Cos pi by 6 is root 3 by 2 whole cube, which is equal to 16 into 1 by 2 into 3 root 3 by 8. 8, 16 is getting cancelled. So 3 root 3. So at pi by 3, the value is 3 root 3 and there is a turning point. So the graph will go something like this. So what is the maximum value of E in this interval? 3 root 3. So the second option is the right answer. So we have used very basic concepts of differentiation in this question along with some trigonometric simplifications. So I hope you have enjoyed this question. So
Hello guys, I am Anna.
And I am Avijit, and welcome to
Narayana Educational Institution.
So JEE Main's 2026 session 2 just got over, and students are coming out after India's one of the most toughest engineering exams.
And we are here to capture the live reactions of the students.
Yes.
So,
Let's
go.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Venkatam Chiran.
You just appeared for JEE Main Session 2. How did your exam go?
This is my second time. It's moderate.
Did you also appear for Session 1?
Yes,
Compared to Session 1, was Session 2 difficult or easier?
somewhat easier.
Somewhat easier. Session 2 was easier. Okay, can you just explain like which subjects, right, among physics, chemistry and maths, which was more easier, which was more difficult?
Physics, chemistry is easier. Maths is lengthy and difficult.
Maths was lengthy and difficult. Like which portions of the math did you feel really difficult?
Like definite integration and एक probability का क्वेश्चन आया और एक quadratic का 2 क्वेश्चन आया.
Okay.
वो 2 भी moderate level का ही है.
Moderate level. Okay. What about physics and chemistry?
Physics and chemistry are easier. Some physics is moderate, but chemistry is easier.
Could you finish all the questions?
I attempted 42 questions.
42 questions, that good, right? What's your next plan? Are you also planning for JEE Advanced?
No.
Okay. Thank you for your time and best of luck for your next exams. Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
Anshuman Singh.
Anshuman Singh. Okay, you just walked out of your JEE Main 2026 Session 2 exam. How was it?
Yeah, it was compared to first session, this one was better for me.
Okay, compared to fun, this one was better. Is the entire exam fine, or is this one section difficult compared to other?
No, all were moderate. For me, all were moderate.
All the sessions were moderate for you. And did you experience any surprise or unexpected topic?
No, for me, nothing like unexpected.
Okay. So are you also planning for JEE Advanced
I have to think about it after the result comes.
after the result? So what's your plan for today? After today?
After today, I'll just go home and I'll read a book.
So you're planning to chill after that until the results are out? Okay. So thank you so much for your time and all the best for your next exam if you're preparing for that. Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Rishi Gautam.
Hi. Hello. So you just have finished JEE Main Session 2. How did your exam go?
It's pretty nice. I mean, I wrote it better than the first shift.
That's so wonderful. You have appeared for Session 1. So compared to Session 1, you said Session 2 is easier.
Yeah, according to me, it's easier.
Okay. Which section did you feel was more easier?
Second section is much
Second section in the sense, like which subject specially?
means overall the paper type of question. It's already seen.
Okay. So among physics, chemistry and maths, what did you feel it was more easier for you?
Easier chemistry and physics.
Physics. What about maths? Was it lengthy?
Maths, it's as usually lengthy, but questions are known. Most of the questions are repeated, but how to solve it and how we can do the type of questions are lengthy. So
Okay, so you said the questions were easier, questions are expected, but it was lengthy. What about physics and chemistry?
physics we can solve it, no problem. And chemistry, few questions they gave it from NCERT. Means corners of the NCERT. So
And so how many questions you attempted in together, total?
I attempted 67.
67 questions.
67.
That's great. How much you're expecting?
No expectations for now. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for your time and best wishes for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Koka Sanat Vihan.
Okay, so you just walked out your JEE Main 2026 Session 2 exam. How was your exam?
I wrote it pretty well, ma'am.
It was pretty well. Are all the sections fine for you?
Physics, I felt it was pretty easy. Chemistry and maths were moderate, ma'am.
Physics was easier for you. Is it easier compared to Session 1 as well? The physics section?
Yes, ma'am. In session 1, my shift was 23rd Jan, second shift, which was, physics was very hard, but comparatively this time it was very easy, ma'am.
Okay, so overall also Session 2 is much better for you compared to Session 1, right?
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am, that's right.
And, okay, how did you manage your time throughout all the sessions?
Ma'am, I gave around 30 minutes to chemistry, around 1 hour to physics, and 1.5 hour to maths, ma'am.
Okay, so you were able to divide your time. And could you attempt all questions?
I was able to go through all the questions but not attempt everything, ma'am.
All right. But your overall experience was quite nice for session 2, right?
Yes, ma'am, definitely better than the first session in Jan.
So are you preparing or planning to prepare for JEE Advanced as well?
Yes, ma'am, I'll definitely plan to prepare for JEE Advanced and BITSAT also, ma'am.
All right. So do you have any tips and tricks for other aspirants out there?
Just practice PYQs, give as many mocks as possible and you'll do it.
All right. So thank you so much for your time and we wish you best of luck for your next exam. Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Srikar.
Hi. So you have just come out of JEE Main Session 2. How did your exam go?
Yeah, it went well. It's nice. Yeah.
That's wonderful. You look very confident. Did you also appear for Session 1?
Yeah, I wrote session 1 too.
So in comparison to Session 1, what did you think? Session 2 was better?
Session 2 was pretty tough compared to session 1. I actually wrote 28 January shift 2. So this was pretty tough compared to...
Session 2 is pretty tough, you mean to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Which subject, like between physics, chemistry and maths, which was more difficult? What do you think?
I think it's physics. Physics was comparatively tough.
It was tougher. Were the questions not in the pattern or it was some unexpected questions came?
It's like the paper is lengthy in the physics and maths was also moderate to tough and chemistry was pretty more in organic.
Okay.
So I felt tough.
Okay. You felt tough in all the subjects?
Yeah, almost.
Almost. So how was overall expectation? Like how many questions did you appear?
I appeared 24 questions.
24 questions. And what do you expect? Like how what will be your score?
I think so. It will be 80 to 100. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Are you also planning for JEE Advanced?
If let's see.
Let's see. So what's your plan right now?
I also applied for BITS Pilani, so I would write in 15th. So if I qualify for it, I would go to BITS.
That's wonderful. Thank you for your time and I wish best of luck for all your future endeavors. Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
Sayyid Ahmed Sharif.
Okay, you just walked out of your JEE Mains 2026 Session 2 exam. How was your exam?
Good, ma'am.
Good. Was it better compared to Session 1?
This was my first attempt, ma'am.
This was your first attempt, so it was good for you. What about the sections? Which section was easiest compared to others?
Maths.
Maths was easiest for you. What about physics and chemistry?
Physics was hard. Chemistry moderate.
Physics were hard and chemistry was moderate. Okay. So are you also planning to give JEE Advanced?
I will think on the basis of result, ma'am.
You will think on the basis of the results. So what are your plan after today? Do you have any plans?
MSET.
Sorry?
MSET.
Okay. So you're planning for MSET. Okay. So thank you so much for your time and we wish you all the best for your MSET exam.
Hello. What's your name?
I am Dipanshu.
Dipanshu. Hi, welcome Dipanshu. You have just appeared for JEE Main Session 2. How did your exam go?
My exam was moderate to good side.
Moderate to good side. Did you also appear for Session 1?
Yes, I did appear for session 1.
So compared to Session 1, what did you think? Session 2 was better?
Yes, session 2 was, I think it was pretty easy compared to session 1.
Okay.
Maths, we could say that it was on the same difficulty side or a little bit tougher. But I am sure that physics and chemistry was easier.
Physics and chemistry was easier. Were the questions following a pattern or something, any surprising, any expectation? So for physics and chemistry, did you feel any unexpected question came?
Yeah, in chemistry, I could say there was one question. They asked the structure of anti-bonding molecular orbital of pi star orbital.
Okay.
So that was pretty unexpected. I don't think so. It was there in NCRT. It hasn't appeared in any of the previous examinations.
Okay. That's fine, but you fared well.
Yes.
So what was your tricks and tips? What can you tell to other JEE aspirants?
I would just say that be calm on the day of the exam because that matters more than your preparation. If you're not calm, there could be multiple things happening, but the most important thing is to be calm.
Wonderful. Are you also planning for JEE Advanced?
Yes, I'll definitely write JEE Advanced.
And what's your preparation plan for that?
there is nothing very structural. I'll just go in the flow.
Wonderful. Thank you for your time, and I wish best of luck for all your future endeavors. Thank you.
What's your name?
Kishore.
Okay, you just gave your JEE Main 2026 Session 2 exam. How was the exam?
It was moderate, I think easy to moderate. Easily, I think you can score 170 plus. But yeah, some questions were definitely tough. Chemistry, numericals especially were very tough. Calculations were very bad. And math was slightly lengthy, but doable also. So it isn't a very hard paper, but I'd say it's moderate.
Okay, which section was the easiest for you?
Easiest, I think, probably physics single correct. Mostly were easy. And physics numericals, 4 of them I was able to attempt. But
Okay, were you able to manage your time across all the sections?
yes, mostly, but I was able to look at every question. But math, I wasn't able to do as many as I wanted because time wasn't there. I only had, I think, 1 hour for math. I don't think it was enough. I think if you keep more time for math and you want to score more in math, then you should, keep some more time for math.
Okay, did you also attend Session 1?
Yes, I wrote session 1.
Also. Okay, so was it easier compared to Session 2 or was it difficult compared to Session 2?
Yeah, I think it was easier compared to session 1, like overall. But some topics which were there in session 1 were not even asked here.
So were there any surprise topics that you expected in Session 2 today?
Surprise topics, there was one interesting question which was a JEE Main's PYQ, but we asked sir and he said it was a very hard question, but that question actually came. I couldn't attempt it because I didn't know how to do it. But, and yeah, that's basically it. Otherwise, everything else I think is doable.
Alright, are you also preparing for JEE Advanced?
Yes, I'm preparing for JEE Advanced.
Okay, so what are your plans after that? Are you going to chill for a while and then start preparation, or you are right away going to start your preparation?
I think for today I'm not going to do anything, but afterwards I have to see, I have to plan, and I'll decide when to start.
Alright, thank you so much for your time.
Your name?
Myself, Karthik.
Karthik. Hello, Karthik. You have just appeared for JEE Main Session 2. How did your exam go?
Yeah, better, good.
Better. So you have also appeared for Session 1.
Yeah.
So compared to Session 1, what did you think Session 2 went better? And in what respects also?
This my hard work. My hard work it is.
Your hard work, that's fine. What about the subjects? Like which subject did you feel it was more easier? Physics, chemistry or maths?
Chemistry is easy. Who can do theory bits? Physics also easy. Yeah.
What about maths?
Maths is the person who able to do the maths is also easy.
Was it lengthy?
No, it's not lengthy. Some of the 5 to 6 problems are lengthy. Whatever we pick the problems that are easy.
Okay. And how many questions did you finish?
I have 44 I have attempted the question.
44 you attempted. And how much you're expecting?
I am expecting around 36 like that.
36 you're expecting. And any future plans? Any other exams are you planning to?
Like BitSet or like that.
Thank you for your time and best of luck for all your next exams. Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
Myself, B. Bhagawan.
So you just gave your JEE Main 2026 Session 2 exam. How was the exam?
It was good, but compared to JEE Main's Session 1 is bad compared to just Session 2.
So you're saying Session 1 was better compared to this session. What do you think? Is there any particular section which was difficult for you?
I think my difficulty is maths. I can't able to do maths. I can do physics maths.
So Session 1 maths was easier for you?
Yes, easy. I can't able to do that. Can I learn better in Session 2? I can apply. I can able to question 3 to 5 questions in Session 1. Compared to Session 2, I can apply to 10 questions.
Okay, but overall experience for the entire exam was decent for Session 2, except maths section. Is that correct?
Is correct.
Okay. So are you also preparing to give JEE Advanced as well?
I prepared JEE Advanced. Yes.
Okay. So what are your plans after today? Are you immediately going to start preparing for JEE Advanced, or are you going to chill for a while?
I will chill for 2 days and more will be I'm going to hostel and prepare for JEE Advanced.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you all the best for your future exams.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Rishi. I am studying in my second year is completed. Now I am attempted to write JEE Main Session 2.
Okay, so you just gave India's one of the toughest exams, which is JEE Main 2026 Session 2. So how was the exam?
My exam in maths, it's doable. In physics, chemistry, it's too easy, but in a medium level, both of them.
Okay, so physics and chemistry were easier for you.
Yeah.
What about session 1? Did you attempt session 1 as well?
Yeah, I attempted, but I got less percentile.
In session 1. So, is session 2 easier compared to session 1?
Yeah, it's easier. Last previous year question model paper they gave it in session 2.
Okay, so were you able to manage your time across all the sections?
Yeah. 14 to 12 questions I did in every subject.
Okay. Were there any unexpected or surprise questions?
In mathematics, not in both of them.
Okay, so you're saying only maths was a little surprising for you, but the other two sections was pretty well and decent for you. Okay, so are you also preparing for JEE Advanced?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that only if I qualify in mains in the second session.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you all the best for your future exam.
So that was all for the reactions we have got from students who have just appeared for JEE Main Session 2. Most of the students felt Session 2 was easier than Session 1. The few felt the maths was a little lengthy and little difficult than the other two.
And you can also let us know how your exam went in the comments below. And all those appearing for the upcoming shifts, all the very best.
Keep studying and preparing, cause at Narayana,
your dreams are our dreams.
Let us now explore a few questions from physics.
चलें ना शुरू करें कट कर लेना. Hello students, good evening. Welcome to Narayana Academy. I'm going to discuss second shift paper of 4th April, that is the second session of JEE Mains. So here we go. So let's start. Here is the first question on the screen. That two strings with the length L1 and L2 Young's moduli Y1 and Y2 are elongated under two weights as shown. So we just need to find out the ratio of elongation. Well, students, so it's a straight away formula based question. So I hope all of you know that we can write K as YA over L. So this is very, very important. So, and now we can treat it like spring, and we know that spring force is equal to K delta X. So I can write over here in first case it is mg K1 delta L1, and in second case it is 3 mg K2 delta L2. So from here we get 1 by 3 K1 K2 delta L1 delta L2. Right, students, now this K1 over K2 I can write it as that is Y1 over Y2 and A1 over A2, and it is L2 over L1. We can see that cross section area are same, and Y1 is that is 1 by 2, and this will be L2, that is yeah, this is 1 by 2 and this is 1 by 4. So using these information, so we get delta L1 over delta L2 is 4 by 3. So right, students, so answer is third. So it's a simple question, that this is the key point that we should know, that I can write spring constant, and in such questions we treat it as equivalent to spring, where spring constant is given by this expression, and then rest all is very simple calculations. Well, students, so let's move further, and here is a question from rotational mechanics, and it is based on physical pendulum. So physical pendulum. So the question says we have a ring of radius r that rotates about horizontal axis. So we have to find out time period of a small oscillation. So we all know this is 2 pi under root I over mgd. Yeah, this is the time period of physical pendulum. Students, it's a very standard thing, so I hope all of you know. And here, be alert while writing moment of inertia. To write moment of inertia about the given axis, I am using parallel axis theorem, that is mr square. So this becomes mr square by 2 moment of inertia about diameter mr square. So that becomes mr square by 2 and d is here r. So when you make substitution, you get t is equal to 2 pi under root 3r by 2g. Right now, this is the answer, students. So d is the distance between center of mass and the axis of rotation. So with this, I get answer 3. A very easy and formula based question from rotational mechanics. Okay. Here is a question from kinematics students, and it is given that there are two cars A and B moving on road with 100 km per hour and 80 km per hour. A stone is thrown from car B with speed v km per hour relative to it, and given that stone hit car A with speed 5. Now be alert students. Now here is the catch. 5 meter per second. So there is a change of unit. So let's do the usual solution. So we know velocity, basic formula, velocity of A with respect to B is velocity of A minus velocity of B, or I can write velocity of A with respect to ground is velocity of A with respect to B plus velocity of B. This is the standard formula for relative motion. So we can write the velocity of stone with respect to ground will be V plus 80 kilometer per hour. Right, students, because in question V is given relative to car B. Now again, let us find out velocity of stone with respect to car A. So that will be V plus 80 minus 100. Right. So, and please, this is the catch. Here we can do some mistakes. So it will not be 5, it will be 18. I hope this is a standard conversion. All of us know 10 meter per second is equal to 36 kilometer per hour. So we have to put 18. So that gives us, students, V is equal to 38 kilometer per hour. A very easy question, but you have to be careful with calculations and units. So answer is 38. Right, students. So moving further, here is a question, matching type. And in matching type, I always advise we need not check all options. So I think we all know that if I see D option, and the dimension of frequency will be t minus 1, I can see that it matches with 2. Again, work function is very easy for me. Work function means it's an energy term. So its dimension will be ml2 t minus 2. So I can see that it matches to 3. And then there are other physical quantities, Planck's constant, stopping potential. So let us see, students, can we manage our answer with these? Now for D, and it is matching with second. So D matching with second, there are two options, that is second and fourth. Right, then let us take this one, A matching to third. So our answer is straightforward. So you can work out these things smartly and save bit of time. We need not go through dimension check of each and every expression. Well, students, so there is a question from magnetism. There are two magnets arranged as given. There is a point at a distance 10 centimeter, and the magnetic moment is given to us is 3 root 5. We need to find out the magnetic field at point P. Now, magnetic field at point P. So we know these two expressions, that magnetic field on axis is twice mu naught over 4 pi, and it is m over r cube. Similarly, if we take equator, so it is mu naught over 4 pi m over r cube. Now, one thing is also important, that it will be perpendicular. So we want resultant magnetic field. So this B net will be root 5. It will be mu naught over 4 pi m over r cube. So when we put this value of m, that is 3 root 5, and distance 10 centimeter, taking care of units, so we get 1.5 millitesla. So answer is first. So here, students, in this question, this is important, that we should know these expressions: magnetic field on axis and magnetic field on equator. Okay, then it is just putting the value and getting the answer type of question. Moving further, here is again a very simple question from kinematics. We are given that bullets are being fired in all possible directions. Maximum range of the ground is 6.4 meter. So we need to find out the so we know that R maximum is u square by g, and this happens at theta is equal to 45 degree. Straight away, simple question. So that u will be under root gr, that is 10 into 6.4, and that gives us 8 meter per second. So answer, it's just orally, the calculations can be done mentally. Anyway, so here is a question from wave optics. We are talking about YDSC, so we need to read the question very carefully. So YDSC, initially pattern was observed without covering the slit. Later on, we are covering one of the slit of thickness T and refractive index 3/2, and what is observed that first maxima coincides with seventh maxima without the sheet. So you all know, whenever we put a transparent sheet in front of one of the slits, the whole interference pattern shifts. The shift in interference pattern is given by P by lambda mu minus 1t. Now in this case, shift is 6 beta. Why 6 beta? Because that first maxima coincides with seventh maxima. So putting this, I get 6 is equal to 1 by lambda 3/2 minus 1 into t, and that gives us t is equal to 12 lambda. So again, to solve this question, this expression is very important. So if you know this expression, again these are all very standard expressions and taught in all classes by all teachers. So if it is on your tip, so you can do it quickly. Alright students, here is another very easy questions from kinematics. A particle, there is an object, it is acted upon by this force. We can see that it is a constant force. Mass is given 0.1 kg, and we want its position after 2 seconds, given that initially it was at origin. Okay students, so I think we can use kinematics equation. So position vector will be xi cap plus yj cap, and x I can write it as half ax t square, half, that is 5 divided by 0.1 t square, so that gives us 100. Similarly, we can make calculation for y. It will be half ay t square, that will be half, that is 2 divided by 0.1 into 2 square, and that is 40. So answer is third. A very easy, straightforward question from kinematics and combining a point from Newton's laws of motion. Okay, so this is a question from electrostatics, right students? So what we are given, we are having dipole in two scenarios. In one case, this is the electric field, and in second case, this is the electric field, and we want time period for small oscillations. Again, I hope when a dipole is placed in uniform electric field, and if it is displaced slightly from stable equilibrium position, so it undergoes oscillation, and time period is 2 pi under root I over PE. So this is the expression which will be required to get the answer. Now I is moment of inertia, P is the dipole moment, E is the electric field. So T1 over T2 will be equal to under root E2 over E1. Now here E1 is E0 and E2, I can see that this will be E0 square, 4 E0 square plus 4 E0 square, and that will be, yeah, that is 3 E0, right? So that is under root 3 E0 over E0, that's cancels out. So answer is this one. So I hope, again, straightforward question, but this expression is the crux. So if you know this expression, you can get the answer very quickly. Okay students, so moving further, here is a question from modern physics, and it is given that electron proton are accelerated with same potential difference. So we need to find out the ratio of de Broglie wavelength. Mass of proton is 1849 times mass of electron. Students, just small point I will mention. Actually, we Indian students pronounce it as de Broglie. We pronounce it as it is written, but actual pronunciation is de Broglie. But we Indian students are used to calling it de Broglie. So we need to find out the ratio of de Broglie wavelength again. So whenever a charged particle is accelerated, its de Broglie wavelength is given by h over under root twice mq delta v. So here in this case, lambda electron over lambda proton, that is lambda 1 over lambda 2 will be under root mass of proton over mass of electron. And we can say the delta V is same, right? And electron and proton, they carry same charge. So that is same. So that's the simple calculation. All right, students. So we can put this value. This will be 1849 and that's 43. So answer is 43. So again, this expression is important. Well, students, so this was the discussion and I hope you enjoyed and paper was easy and it was straightforward paper.
And now, let's tackle some chemistry questions.
Hi, this is Shivakrishna. I am going to discuss the remaining questions. Identify the relation between the following structures P and Q. Actually, they are in the wedge projection formula. Give the priority order. Then automatically we can find out which type of the pair. This is 1 according to priority order. This is 2 and this is 3. Since bromine is the highest atomic number, later chlorine, after then carbon both are attached same, but the next attached atom is carbon for here ethyl and here is methyl. So the third priority order for ethyl and 4 is for CH3 according to CIP rules. So if I see that 1, 2, 3, it is in anti-clockwise direction. Fourth priority group is away from the observer. Therefore, the configuration is S for the given molecule. Go for the second molecule Q. Again, bromine 1, chlorine is 2, and ethyl group is 3. And fourth priority is CH3, which is also again away from the observer. So 1, 2, 3, that is clockwise direction, and the fourth priority is away from the observer. When the fourth priority group is away from the observer, for 1, 2, 3 clockwise, it is R. So the R and S configurations, which is nothing but enantiomer, we can easily identify the answer. Now go for the next question, students. Yes, for the following, compare the acidic strength. If you observe the molecules, among the 5, 2 are carboxylic acids and the remaining 3 are phenols. And here you can easily observe that carboxylic acids are more acidic than phenols. Among these 2 carboxylic acid, when the withdrawing groups like -I or -M groups are present, automatically their acidic strength increases. So that among these all, the highest acidic strength is 4 and next acidic strength is for 5 and the next one is among these phenols we have to identify. Among these 3 phenols, this NO2 is a -M group, CH3 is a +M like due to hyperconjugation, and here there is no withdrawing as well as donating group in the one. So according to that, -M group creates more acidic strength. That's why the next more acidic one is 2 and the next acidic one should be the 1. Since +M groups are electron donating group, increases the electron density and automatically decreases the acidic strength. So 3 should be the least among all. So the correct acidic strength order 4, 5, 2, 1, 3. That is nothing but para-nitrobenzoic acid is more acidic than benzoic acid. Benzoic acid is more acidic than para-nitrophenol, which is more acidic than phenol since there is no withdrawing as well as donating group when compared to third option, that is paramethylphenol. So paramethylphenol is the least acidic. So now go for the next question, students. Yes. For a first order reaction A to P, already it was mentioned the type of reaction. A to P is a first order reaction. They given time 0 and time x as well as time 20 and their concentrations. Okay, then we have to find out x value. At what time the reactant concentration becomes 0.0625. So according to first order kinetics, Kt is equal to ln of reactant concentration initial by concentration of reactant at a time t. Otherwise, K is equal to 2.303 by T log of initial concentration of the reactant by concentration of the reactant at a time T. So, if you substitute the values, let us consider at x time, first order kinetics K and the time x minutes and ln of initial concentration at 0 time, the concentration was given 0.625 and the time x, the concentration is 0.625 into 10 to the power of -1 we can write because they given as 0.0625. Now let us consider as equation 1. Now you go for the second option, that is at the time 20 minutes. Again you substitute the concentrations, that is 0.625 is at initial concentration and at the time 20 minutes, that is 0.625 into 10 to the power of -2. Then this as equation 2. You can rewrite the equation as K into x is equal to 10 power -1 is goes up log ln 10. You can write like this also because of this, and you can write this as 20k is equal to ln of 10 square. Now you do equation 1 by equation 2. Otherwise you consider as equation 1a, consider as equation 2a. You do equation 1a by equation 2a. Then what happened? Kx by 20k is equal to ln of 10 square is 2 log 10, that is ln 10 by 2 ln 10. You see students, rate constant remains same without changing the temperature and both are cancelled, 2 10s are cancelled, then the value x is equal to 10. Therefore x 10 minutes, the concentration becomes 0.0625. Therefore we can easily identify the answer by using the direct equation. Now go for the next question. Hybridization of nitrogen atom in ammonia and tricyclyl ammonia, otherwise tricyclyl ammonia, or respectively are. In ammonia, the hybridization we can easily find out by using a formula, or generally every student knows this, but even though I will try to solve the form, what is that hybridization by using steric number method. The surrounding number of atoms first student should find out and half into group number of the central atom. Group number of central atom is 5 in Roman symbols minus valency, sum of valency of surrounding atoms or groups. Sum of valency is here 3 and there is no charge on this. Therefore the total sum become 3 plus 1. This 3 indicates bond pairs and this 1 indicates lone pair. Their sum indicates hybridization or steric number. So the number of hybrid orbitals required for the ammonia is that is sp3. Since the steric number came 4 hybrid orbitals are required. 4 hybrid orbital containing hybridization is in generally is sp3. So first ammonia we can find out, that is sp3. Likely the same formula we can apply for tricyclyl ammonia. You can write the structure also here. Because of tetrahedron shape, we have to make them into tetrahedron because one of the lone pair is occupied by an sp3 hybridizer orbital. And now go for the same thing. The number of surrounding groups are 3. Each valency also 1. Therefore, the same formula here also applicable, and here also the hybridization should be sp3. But here one thing is there, the nitrogen lone pair and silicon 3D empty orbital will be there, na? Which makes back bonding from the nitrogen to silicon. Due to that, the nitrogen gets a double bond character or double bond with the silicon, which makes it as sp2 hybridization rather than sp3 due to the back bonding from the nitrogen lone pair to empty 3D orbital of silicon attached atom. Therefore, the answer should be sp3 and sp2. Now, let us go for the next question. Yes, it is matchings. A Friedel-Crafts reaction. Everybody knows that. Okay, this is the Friedel-Crafts reactions. There are two types of Friedel-Crafts reaction, alkylation as well as acylation. Let us take one example. Benzene on reaction with alkyl chloride in the presence of AlCl3, which gives alkyl benzene. This is an example for Friedel-Crafts alkylation. It takes place while it is going on, which forms what is that? AlCl3, that is minus, and gives plus, automatically creates a positive charge on that alkyl group and gives electrophile, and it substitute on the benzene as electrophilic substitution. Therefore, Friedel-Crafts reaction is a electrophilic substitution reaction. Williamson ether synthesis. What is that Williamson ether synthesis? Alkoxide, any alkoxide when treated with alkyl halide. So, this alkyl halide must be primary alkyl halide. When these two are reacting, which forms an ether like this. Therefore, alkoxide and alkyl halide undergo nucleophilic substitution. Therefore, Williamson ether synthesis is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Let us go for the next one. Chlorination of alkane in sunlight. You know the best example, methane. When you do chlorination in the presence of sunlight, okay, then we are getting methyl chloride. Okay, this is always a free radical substitution. Bromine chloroform. Okay, bromine chloroform addition. Actually, it was mistaken addition to the alkene. Bromine chloroform addition to alkene. Yes, addition of bromine or chloroform to the alkene is a electrophilic addition, and that to be, it can occur via cyclic bromonium ion as intermediate. So, bromine addition to the alkene is a electrophilic addition. Now, let us go for the next question. Yes, in this question, when 3.395 gram of ethyl alcohol is burnt completely, liberated 101.11 kilojoules, okay, heat, then enthalpy of formation of ethyl alcohol is going to ask ethyl alcohol formation enthalpy, but they given a clue, enthalpy of combustion of ethyl alcohol. Let us write the equation for the combustion reaction of ethyl alcohol. Enthalpy of combustion. Ethyl alcohol when combusted, we are getting carbon dioxide and water. Here 2 carbons and 3 H2O. Therefore, that is 3 plus of 2 2s are 4. That is 7. Here 3 plus 2, that is 3 2s are 6 plus 1, 7. This is the balanced equation for the combustion of ethyl alcohol. If you write enthalpy of combustion of ethyl alcohol, if you write for enthalpy of combustion of ethyl alcohol is equal to 2 into enthalpy of formation of CO2 plus 3 into enthalpy of formation of water minus enthalpy of formation of ethyl alcohol. you will get enthalpy of combustion of ethyl alcohol. Since the enthalpy of formation of any species in its native state is taken as standard enthalpy of formation is 0. So enthalpy of combustion of ethyl alcohol they have given indirectly. How did they sir? Yes, 3.395 grams of ethyl alcohol they given. That is nothing but 3.395 by 46. This is the number of moles of ethyl alcohol given. Then what is the per mole for the given moles, how much energy is given is 101.11 kilojoules. Then enthalpy of combustion of ethyl alcohol is 101.11 by 3.395 by 46 is the value. Okay, after doing so, 2 into enthalpy of formation of CO2 also they given minus 393.5 kilojoules per mole plus 3 into enthalpy of formation of water, that is minus 285.8 was given. If you are observe that kilojoules per mole minus enthalpy of formation of ethyl alcohol, which we have to find out. So simply after doing calculation, you will get the answer finally as enthalpy of formation of ethyl alcohol value. You will get the value here. This is the way we can easily solve the problem. The one and only hint is here, enthalpy of combustion. So from that one, I got the enthalpy of combustion. After substituting in the given equation, we will get enthalpy of formation of ethyl alcohol. Now let us go for the next question, student. Yes, 0.32 gram of organic compound during estimation of sulfur by Carrier's method, we got 0.932 gram of barium sulfate, the percentage of sulfur in the organic compound. It is a quantitative estimation of organic compounds part. Then percentage of sulfur, we have a direct formula for the student purpose, that is 32 by 233 into weight of barium sulfate produced in the process by weight of the organic compound given into 100. Yes, if you substitute 32 by 233 and the weight of barium sulfate given as 0.32, sorry, weight of the barium sulfate they given as 0.932 grams and the weight of organic compound was given as 0.32 into 100. After doing all the calculations, simply will get the percentage as 40. This is the problem. We can easily solve the answer. I think so these two are easily calculatable and we are getting direct equation as 4. That is why the calculation also very easy in this problem. Go for the next question. Which allotrope of phosphorus is thermodynamically most stable and least reactive? Actually, there are 3 types of phosphorus allotropes: white phosphorus and I think black phosphorus and red phosphorus. Among these 3, the white phosphorus is the most reactive and the least stable because of 60 degrees bond angle strain. 60 degrees is the bond angle, has so much of bond angle strain, the molecule is highly unstable and most reactive. But among the 3, the most stable one is the black phosphorus as well as least reactive because of polymeric structure like graphite. Because of this, black phosphorus is thermodynamically most stable and the least reactive one. Go for the next. Here, given complexes, we have to, what is that? Match the hybridization and the number of unpaired electron. According to that VBT theory, nickel tetracarbonyl. Here, carbonyl is a strong field ligand. Here, nickel charge is 0. When the nickel charge is 0, the electrons are 3d8, 4s2. Because of the strongest ligand, the electrons are forcibly filled into like 3d10 and 4s0, which makes all the d orbital or gets filled up like this, and the possibility is 4p0 then, because here the coordination number is 4, just we are requiring only 4 empty orbital. That's why the hybridization become sp3. All the electrons are paired up forcibly because of strongest ligand. Therefore, sp3 and 0 unpaired electron. Here is that is A is R, and either answer B or C. Now go for the next one, nickel tetracyanide. Okay, here nickel charge is +2 because it is -4 and outside is minus. When the charge inside and outside of the complex are the same, better to just subtract, you will get the charge on the central atom. Then automatically the configuration become 3d8 and 4s0. Here you see the electrons are gets paired up because of strongest ligand. Okay, then 3d8 4s0. Here also again coordination number is 4 and cyanide is a monodentate ligand. Therefore again we required what are that 3 empty orbital, 1 2 3 and 4, that is 4 empty orbital, that is must be dsp2 and 0 unpaired electron. So again the answer for this is dsp2 0 unpaired electron. So we got second option also, that is 1 is R and 2 is B is S, 1 R B S. Automatically we got the answer, we will go for that, even though we will try for the remaining also. Nickel here charge again +2 because the same -4, and Cl is also a what is that monodentate ligand and is a weak field ligand because nickel is a 3D element, that is 3d8 and 4s0. Because of the weak field ligand, electrons are not forcibly paired up, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 2 unpaired electron in there, and we required again 4 empty orbital. That's why again it is a sp3 hybridization and 2 unpaired electron. Yes, again here is the option. Lastly, nickel with a hexadent, what is that 6 coordination, and water is a what is that weak field ligand and monodentate. Therefore again nickel here also the same way, nickel +2, that is 3d8 and 4s0 and 4p0. Here also electrons are not paired up since water is also again a weak field ligand. Say, and we are requiring here 6 and what is that empty orbital because coordination number is 6. That's why it is 4d0, 1 s orbital and 3p orbital again, and it takes 2 more orbital, that is sp3d2. So sp3d2 and 2 unpaired electron is the answer. Yes, the best option is pq. So the correct option whatever we chosen before going for p and q. So go for the next question, student. Yes, which of the following ion forms a precipitate on addition of ammonium hydroxide and H2S? Yes, students, ammonium hydroxide and H2S is a group separation reagent. Yes, cation analysis. Group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, cation 0 group, like that. Cation analysis is there. This is the group 4th cation what is that separation reagent. What are the group 4? Nickel +2, cobalt +2, Mn +2, Zn +2. These 4 cations are group 4. While you are adding ammonium hydroxide along with H2S, that's precipitated as sulfides. Among the given, it is not there, it is not there, it is not there. Who is the answer? Mn +2. It is the inorganic qualitative analysis topic. Now let us go for the next question. Yes, again the question from complex compounds. Here you see one by one complex. Iron, here charge is -6 and iron +3. Since -6 and -3, again I told you previously, whenever the charges are same outside and inside of the complex, we can separate easily. We can get the what is that complex central metal atom charge. Here iron plus 3 and the ligand is a strong field ligand and monodentate. Here iron plus 3, that is nothing but 3d5 and 5 electrons are forcefully filled, 1 2 3 4 5. That means one unpaired electron is there. If you go for iron plus 3, here water, weak field ligand, oxalate, yes, oxalate also considered as a weak field ligand plus iron plus 3, and chloride ion is also a weak field ligand with iron plus 3. So in all these things, Fe plus 3, that is again 3d5, 5 unpaired electron will be there because of weak field ligand. So according to that, the answer must be A is a, consider the which of the option correct represent order of number of unpaired electron. So 5 unpaired electron, 5 unpaired electron, 5 unpaired electron. Here is only 1 unpaired electron. Option to be correct is A. Okay, student, thank you. We will continue in the next.
Let us now explore a few questions from physics.
Hello everyone. So today right now we are going to discuss the physics questions of the second shift of today's IIT JEE exam. Okay, so now we have a question on your screen, right? The position of the particle changes as function of time as x equal to 54t and y equal to 15t square minus 4t. So we have to find velocity vector angle with x-axis at t equal to 2 seconds. So how to write velocity vector? That's what we are going to see now. Okay. So velocity vector is actually your vx I cap plus vy j cap, and simply you write down your vx as the dx by dt. Okay, and it becomes 54, and vy is your dy by dt, which is 15 into 2, 30 t minus 4, and then your angle, right, tan theta is going to be vy by vx from the x-axis, and then this is going to become 30t minus 4 by 54. So they're asking this tan theta at t equal to 2 seconds. So we'll substitute t equal to 2 in this formula, and we'll get here 32 ja 60 minus 4, which is 56 divided by 54. So it becomes 28 and 27, and hence then this option 4 will be the correct answer. Okay, so I hope it's clear to everybody, right? Let's move to the next one which came. So here we have equivalent capacitance you have to find. Okay, C1, C2, C3 is 1 microfarad and C4 is actually 2 microfarad. So now let's look at this circuit quickly, and it is going to become something like this if I modify this diagram little bit, right? So we can take this point, which is this one A, and then this one is your B. I'll take this point as some, let's say D. Okay, then D is nothing but same as A, if you can see from this path. Okay, so let's name it as A only. Then the remaining point, this one, is going to be then, let's say, D. So I take point A, and then I take a point D, and then I take a point B. A, D, and B. So between A and D, right, we have two capacitors connected, right, like this. Okay, and then between D and B, we have one capacitor connected, which is C4, and between A and D, we have two capacitors, which was C1 and C2. Okay, and C3 is connected between A and B. So C3 is connected between A and B. So this is like more easier way to look at it as a series and parallel combination, right? So here C1, C2 are of 1 microfarad. So 1 and 1 together means 2, and C4 is 2. So C1, C2 together will give me 2 microfarad, and this one is 2 microfarad. Then 2 and 2 are in series, and then the resultant of these 2 and 2 will be then 1 microfarad. C3 is 1 microfarad. So 1 and total 1, right? total becomes 1 plus 1, 2 microfarad, because they are in parallel now. So 2 microfarad is going to be the correct answer for this. I hope it's clear, right? Very easy it was. Another question is assertion. For two samples of O2 and H2, VRMS are same if temperature is same. What is the formula of VRMS? Root 3 RT by molar mass. Okay. Now the thing is, it's not just depending on temperature, it's also depending on the molar mass as well. So we cannot say that it's correct. Assertion is incorrect. And then reason, average molar kinetic energy of H2 and O2 are same if their temperature are same. I hope you know in KTG chapter we go through this, right? When we write down the average molar kinetic energy of H2 and O2, that particular energy comes proportional to your the temperature only, like KT is the order of KT, right? So therefore it's directly proportional to the temperature. It's correct. So R is correct and fourth option will be the correct option for it. Assertion is incorrect, reason is correct. Okay. Next one, magnetic field component of electromagnetic wave is given as this B vector is given. Look at the function. It's like beta naught sine of this is your omega minus t minus kx. So the propagation direction is x direction, right? What is the propagation direction? The propagation direction is the x direction, okay? And then we have here this B vector is along j cap, right? The oscillation direction is along the y axis, okay? And we have to find electric field component of the electromagnetic wave. So if I plot this is x, this is y, and this one is z. So if I take the magnetic field vector in this direction, then my electric field will be then this is x, right? So y along is actually the magnetic field vector, okay? So therefore this electric field vector will be in which direction? It should be towards the minus k cap, right? Because when you do E cross B, it should be the direction of propagation. It should be the direction of propagation. So if B vector is along j cap, right, and then E vector should be along your this minus of k cap, right? So here that means I have to look for the k cap option only, right, but with a minus k cap, and sine should be sine only, okay, and omega will be same. So sine omega t minus kx will be there, but it should be minus k cap, and the magnitude of amplitude of magnetic field is beta naught. So my E naught will be c into the beta naught, and c is nothing but lambda into frequency. So lambda into frequency into beta naught. So E naught is matching, and this one is sine of omega t minus kx, and here should be some minus of k cap, okay? The rest of the other thing, this is cos, not going to match, and then this is 2 factor, absolutely incorrect, and this is like half factor, which is also absolutely incorrect. So this will be the correct option to go with, okay? So minus with k cap is also going to be there, okay? So this is a correct answer. Fourth option will be correct. So straightforward based on your electromagnetic wave chapter, okay? Next one, a biconvex lens is made up of material refractive index mu equal to 1.4 as shown, and you have to find the ratio of f by r. You know the formula, lens maker formula, right? So as per lens maker formula, mu minus 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2 is 1 by f. Mu minus 1 becomes 0.4, 1 by r plus 1 by r, it's like 2 by r, so 0.8 by r. So what is f by r coming? 1 upon 0.8, that's like 10 by 8, which is 5 by 4, fourth option. So easy one, right? Lens maker formula based question, direct. This is the Zener breakdown voltage topic question. 10 volt, Zener breakdown voltage is actually 10 volt here. So you assume this one 0, then this should be what? 10, and this is what? 25. So therefore voltage across this R is how much? 15 volt. 15 ka square divided by resistance R should be the power consumed by it, which is 0.5. So this becomes 225 into 2, which is the resistance, and 450 ohm is the answer for it. Okay, let's move to the next one. Oh, it's a Mayless law based question, right? So this is a set of polarizers as given below, and unpolarized light falls with intensity I0. Find the value of I1 by I2. Okay, so first thing is that this is at a 30° from some reference line, and this is at 90° from some reference line. So what will happen now? 90 and 30, the difference gap is 60°. So if I0 is unpolarized, after first polarizer, it will become I0 by 2, half. And then after this 60° angle, right, left over, 90 minus 30. So it will be I0 by 2 cos square 60. Okay, that is 1 by 2 cos square 1 by 4. Overall, I0 by 8. This is my I1. Same logic here. Here will be I0 by 2. Then 60 and 30 gap is 30°. So cos square 30 is 3 by 4. So this will become I0 by 2 into 3 by 4. Then again 90 and 60 is a gap of 30°. So again you have to multiply 3 by 4. So it becomes one more time 3 by 4 here. So this overall is going to become 9 I0 by 16 2 ja 32, and this is going to be the I2. So what is I1 by I2 here? I0 by 8 divided by 9 I0 by 32 here. So this I0 cancel, and it becomes 4 by 9. So straightforward, 4 by 9. It was based on the chapter of your wave optics polarization case, where you study Mailler's law, and this comes from the Mailler's law topic only. Okay. Next one is current carrying coil is oriented in a way that axis of the coil is at 30° with existing magnetic field 0.4 Tesla. So axis of the coil is at 30°, means if you draw this coil, this axis is from the magnetic field making 30°, and number of turns are 125, and current in the coil is 1 ampere. Okay, and the area of the coil is given as 2 centimeter square, 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. So when you talk about the torque, that's what they are asking. Torque is your magnetic moment, mb sine theta. Okay, so m magnetic moment is how much? Your number of turns current in the loop and into area. Okay, so therefore this becomes NIAB sine 30 is half. So if I do the calculation part, 125 current 1, area is 2 into 10 to the power minus 4, magnetic field is 0.4, okay, and divide by 2. So this becomes overall how much? 12.5 into 4, that is 50. 50 into 10 to the power minus 4 is how much? 0.05. Okay, so then in SI units 0.05 Newton meter will be the correct answer on it. So I hope this clear, very easy one. Next one, at what height h from the surface of earth gravitational field is 1 by 9 that at gravitational field at surface. So at the surface the field formula is gm by r square, and at some radius r this will be gm by r square, right? And therefore this can give you that this is the 1 by 9th of the surface one. So this is, let's say, g naught, so it will be g naught by 9. So if you compare it, you get r is equal to 3r. So what is the height? Height is 2r. Then what is the ratio? H by r will be 2. So that is the answer. This was an integer based question, and therefore 2 is the correct answer of reporting here. I hope it's clear. Now move to the next one. An ideal liquid is flowing through a pipe having different cross section as shown. R1 is given, R2 is given. Speed is one section is given and speed at another section is asked in millimeter per second. Okay, so what you do here is exactly, you know the continuity equation. So area into velocity is constant. So A1 V1 equal to A2 V2, and area is proportional to the radius square. So here we'll do one thing. We have to find V1. Okay, so we'll write down V1 is equal to R2 square by R1 square into V2, and R2 is 30. So 30 by this one will become how much? 30 by 15. Okay, 30 by 15 ka whole square, right? So radius is becoming double, okay, and V2 is 50 centimeter per second. So this becomes 30 by 15 2 ka square 4 and then into V2. V2 is 50. So this becomes 54 ja 200, right? So this becomes 200 as centimeter per second now, okay? So therefore 200 centimeter per second now. If you convert millimeter per second, it will be 2000 millimeter per second. Okay, so no, this is one of the easiest, I would say, question, straightforward. Sorry, millimeter per second, straightforward based on the concept of equation of continuity. Okay, and ideal liquid is already given there, so you don't have to worry about the density of the liquid also here. Okay, so that's it. One more question here we have: magnetizing field intensity in a region having magnetic field of 4 Tesla and the net magnetic field is given. Okay, so what is the magnetic field given? 4 Tesla, and relative permeability is given mu r, which is 20, and they're asking the magnetizing field intensity, that is the capital H, right? So what is the formula then? We have mu r mu naught H is equal to B. So what becomes then the H over here? B by mu r mu naught, 4 by 20, mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to power minus 7, 4 and 4 cancel, 10 power 7 by 20 pi here, and hence this x value, which is this one, that's what they are asking, x will be then 20. That is the correct answer. So I hope it's clear to everybody, right? So this is the answer.
Well, now it's high time to discuss the physics question paper, and for that, we have our very famous Ajay Pratap Singh sir, commonly known as APS sir, to the students. Welcome, sir. And we also have Prashant sir with us. Welcome, sir. All right. So, sir, when you saw the question paper first, what was your reaction to it?
See, this question paper is very, very easy. So we didn't find any challenge over there. Straight away, easy questions.
Very straightforward and easy questions. All right. Prashant sir, my question to you is how different this question paper of entire, I'll talk about the April shift so far. How is this April shift different from the January shift questions?
January shift was more on a tougher side, and this one is on the easier side actually. And students will solve it very fast.
Very fast.
And this is of like level 0 of our Narayana books actually.
Level 0 of the Narayana book, because we train students to up for the very difficult questions, but these questions are not that difficult. Alright, so let's dive into each question. Sir, I'll be asking you the questions, and as far as I can think that we have 20 memory based questions. So we'll ask you about the question and you can give us the overview of that. Ajay sir, to you, what is your reaction to question number 1?
Yeah, question number 1 is straight away formula based question. And we say normally that put the value and get the answer, provided you remember the correct formula involved into the situation. So easy question, yeah.
All right.
Straightforward.
Easy and straightforward. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go to question 2.
Question 2 is again very easy like a previous question. If you remember the right formula, time period of oscillation, just put the value and get the answer. But there are certain standard things which a student is expected to know and do it quickly.
All right.
Yeah, but I'll say it's straightforward question.
Straightforward
No
question.
twist is there.
No twist. Okay. So question 3.
Question 3, I don't think so. There can be easiest question than this. Even the 9th standard students will do this question.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a very straightforward question based on relative motion.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect this much of easy question.
And they didn't meet the standards.
Yeah.
All right. Question 4, sir.
Question 4, students, as you know all, it's a very standard format and you need not work out the dimensions of all questions. Just if you see two easy physical quantities, mentally you can work it out, the answer straight away.
All right. Basically, you don't even have to look for all the options. You don't even have to solve the entire question.
Yeah, that's being smart. And,
yeah. All right. So let's go to question number 5.
Yeah, question number 5, I'll say relatively better, slightly better than previous 4 questions. Here you need to read the question carefully. You need to note the position of the point. That point is on axial position and equatorial position, and then you need to remember the expressions carefully. Plus, you need to do vector addition to get the final magnetic field at the point. So I'll say slightly on higher side.
All right. So basically, we have discussed 5 questions, out of which only this question number 5
Yeah,
is on the
slightly,
highly better than easy. All right. Let's move to Prashant, sir. Sir, what's your take to question number 6?
It's again like a classical question from 11th kinematics.
Yeah.
So yeah, student will not find any difficulty in that.
All right, fine. Let's go to question number 7 then.
It's from the 12th portion that YDSC we normally do. And again, it's a basic question from YDSC topic.
All right. Let's go to question 8, sir.
It's again NLM. I mean, not NLM. It's more like dynamics, where we have to find displacement, and acceleration is constant, starting from 0 velocity. So definitely, it's a very cakewalk.
Cakewalk for the students. All right. So we have seen 3 questions. 6, 7, 8. All are cakewalk for students. Let's go to question number 9.
9th is also direct formula based, and the thing is, there you have to use the formula, and if a student knows it, and you will be able to do it that. Time period based it is actually.
All right. Let's go to question 10, sir.
10th is related to your de Broglie topic, and again that's a direct formula based coming.
Yeah.
So not that tough task.
Not that tough. All right. Now let's move to Ajay, sir. Sir, what's your take to question number 11?
Question number 11th is a very simple and straightforward question from kinematics once again. So you just need to do the routine stuff.
Correct. Yeah. All right. Let's go to question number 12.
12th question is again based on series parallel combination. If you are just quick enough to see series parallel combination, you can do calculations mentally.
All right.
So that's an easy question.
Easy question. Okay. Question number 13, sir.
Again, question number 13 is factual question, and if you are clear with theory, you can answer it very simply.
It's from KTG, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, question number 14.
Question number 14 is again a standard question from EM waves, that electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. If you know the standard fact about electromagnetic waves, again it is a straightforward application.
Straightforward application. All right, let's go to question number 15.
Question number 15 is again, it is from geometrical optics.
Easy question.
Yeah, formula based, no twist, and straightforward, standard and routine question.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Let's go to Prashant, sir. So, what is your take on question number 16?
It's coming from the your diode chapter,
Okay.
and it's a Zener diode based question.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you apply this loop law thing, and you will get it done very
You'll
fast.
get it done. All right. Question number 17, sir.
It's coming from the chapter of your this wave optics,
Mhm.
the polarization part,
Right.
and direct applied the law. You get the answer then.
All right. Everything is very easy, straightforward, just formula application seems. Okay. Question number 18.
18th is like related to your magnetic moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you know it, and then asking their torque actually.
Hmm.
So it's a formula based, only calculation part is there. If student does the good calculation correct, he will get it.
He or she would get it. All right. Let's go to question number 19.
19th is again the question of the gravitation chapter.
Mhm.
And it's a very easiest one in the
It's
gravitation.
the easiest one.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Okay. So we'll go to the last question. That is question number 20.
It's also continuity equation based question, which is one of the easiest task for the student to complete it.
It seems like all the shifts in April shift questions are asked. All the questions that are being asked here in this shift are very easy. Okay, Ajay sir, my question to you is, if you have to rate this entire question paper on a scale of 10, how would you rate it?
See, if you ask me, matlab, on the difficulty level, there are no questions where some twist and turns in involved. All the questions are very, very standard questions from all the topics. So there is no challenge. If you ask me to rate it on a scale of 10, I hesitate that it should be at a 4 or 5 level.
All right, it's a 4 or 5. Okay, Prashant sir, what's your take on this? On the level of difficulty, yeah.
Yeah, on the level of, it's a like easy level.
Yeah.
So again, same as sir said, the rating will be lesser. What actually is meant for NTA, how they prepare IT exams. So as per that, I would say it's on the very easy side.
It's
So
on the very
rating
easy
mine will
side.
be also around 5.
5. All right, 4 to 5. So the question paper is rated 4 to 5. The question paper seems to be very easy. Sir, like seeing the questions that we have seen in the 3 shifts so far, what piece of advice that you would like to give to the future students who are going to appear for the upcoming shifts?
See, the indications are very, very clear. Be clear with the routine and standard things, and then JEE Mains will be a cakewalk. That's my advice to the coming students who will be appearing in coming exams.
All right, Prashant, so over to you.
Just it's like basic conceptual questions.
Mhm.
And you have to be very much just accurate in solving the questions, and you can easily score full out of full. The thing is, be confident and make sure that these shifts might be easier, but nobody knows what will be the other shifts, so maybe a little on tougher side also possible. So don't think like these are easier, so other one will also be easier. Be ready, okay, whatever you face the situation.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for being there. To say, if I have to put it in a nutshell, I would say that just be confident. Don't be overconfident that if all the 3 question papers that we have seen is easy, the next questions will also be easy. So prepare well, revise all your formulas, and be confident for the examination. With that note, we are done with the physics part. Thank you so much, sir, for joining.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, now it's high time to discuss the chemistry question paper, and for that, we have our very famous Neha ma'am.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
And we have our very learned Shiva Krishna, sir.
Thank you,
Welcome, sir. All right. Ma'am, when you first saw this question paper, what was your reaction to it?
My reaction was it is an easy paper,
Mhm.
doable. And still, I will always suggest that spend time, because there are questions which will need at least 30 second to 45 second for analyzing the correct match or for counting the unpaired electrons. Time should be given, then it is very scoring. What is your opinion, sir?
Exactly, ma'am.
All right. So my question to you is, how do you see is there any difference in the pattern that we are seeing the questions from the January shift to the April shift?
Yes, ma'am. When compared to the last shifts, these question papers are somewhat easier and moderate. That's why they are easy to understand for the student and easy they can do.
What is your reaction to question number 1?
Yeah, this question is actually from D and F black elements. Actually, this question is based on oxides and fluorides based, and simply it is memory based question. When the student knows that which is more oxide having the highest oxidation state, and fluoride with the highest oxidation state. When the student knows that, then only they can do this question. Looking easy, but for only those students have the well knowledge on those points, then only they can do. Otherwise, the question is typical to the student.
All right,
but
all
it's
right.
looking very easy.
Yeah, it on the face it looks easy, but again you have to think
yes,
and spend time.
Exactly, ma'am.
Right, all right. What about question 2, sir?
Yes, this is the normal and everybody can do this question.
Easy question.
This is easy question.
All right, thank you,
this
sir.
This from chemical bonding.
Chemical bonding. So. All right. Over to ma'am. Ma'am, how is question number 3?
Question number 3, again, as in this April shift, we are seeing a lot of this list 1, list 2 questions.
Right.
Right, in every paper these are coming. That is a very good method of knowing students have read each and every page or not. Like this particular, I think it is simple. No problem, it is simple. But to select the correct choice, you have to keep your calm and select the right choice.
Correct.
That time is to be given.
All right. Let's go to question number 4.
Yes, question number 4. Very simple, but they have not directly asked what is the order of basicity. A very slight twist, I would say, just by asking the conjugate acid.
Conjugate acid, right.
So, just in hurry, sometimes students do very random errors.
Right.
That type of error people can do. Otherwise, if they analyze, okay, not the basicity word, not the acidity, conjugate acid, they can do. Anyhow, the answer will remain similar.
Yeah.
But need to be aware of the fact.
Yeah, so that is something, students, that you have to take care of very well. Yeah. That even though sometimes the question would twist, not ask the direct word, like here it could have been basicity. But then the question asks about the stable conjugate acid. So these are the smaller things that you have to, be very aware of. Yes. All right, ma'am, question number 5.
Question number 5, I think this is like only one question in whatever memory-based question appear to us, which has involved multi reactions in organic.
Okay.
In January session, so many such questions were there.
Right.
But this session, not many, and in this paper, this is the only one. But to conclude it all, if what we have got as per memory of our students, they are, in the end, it is very simple. Calculate the molecular weight of the final product. You just have to invest your time doing the correct reaction.
Right.
Yeah.
Ma'am, did it satisfy your chemistry soul by seeing this question? Like, was it a good question or how do you rate it?
Yeah. It is, I would say, concept question, and for mains, this is like level 8.
Level 8. All right.
For mains, this is
a good question.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 6, ma'am.
Question number 6 seems to be very simple, like a GOC question.
Yeah.
People will say it's a GOC question, only bond length is asked, but it is not that simple.
Okay.
It is like, what should I say? It's a trap. If you go by just again on the face value that it is just a bond length. Now, what all errors people can do here? First, most of the students in hurry will not read bond length. They are usually going for bond order.
Yes.
That is their first choice.
Yeah.
Second choice, if you go for options, it is again not that easy. How will they decide between A and B? It is one should have a very clear concept. What is the impact of resonance? What is the impact of ketoenol? What is the impact of aromaticity? So it looks very simple.
Yeah.
Many people will grade it simple, but I think we should grade it as a good quality question because it has 3 different concepts linked with chemical bonding and reading also bond length or bond order. So it's a good quality question.
All right. So do you have to add something to this question?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, what the madam said is correct. Whenever the student having the what is that, bond length, bond order,
Mhm.
and the effects of that bond length, bond order by the aromaticity, resonance, and so many 3 topics are linked to here. So when the student having the 3 topics thoroughly, then only they can do. And a
Okay.
little bit confusion
Correct,
how
correct.
to make
Between
them
the
the
options,
distinguishing
yeah.
of the options also
Right,
be.
right, right.
That is why the question is I can go for 9 also be like
You can
that.
go for a 9
But
track.
it's looking very simple for that students who has the best knowledge. But
Mhm.
otherwise, most of the students going for wrong option also.
Okay, okay. They can end up doing a wrong
Yeah,
option.
when they are coming out of their examination hall, they will count it as correct.
Yeah,
But 90% students, I think, when we'll analyze, they will say, oh,
All
here
right.
gone wrong. That type of
Okay,
question is
okay,
this.
okay.
They are looking like a silly.
Yes, and they'll say silly error, right?
All right, let's go to question number 7.
Question number 7 is again column 1, column 2 based, and I would grade it as okay if you have read correctly NCRT and lab manual.
Okay, okay.
Like
Basically-
Thalin dye test given in lab manual very clearly, tolerance is given, hints, all 4 of column 2
All
are
right.
given in lab manual in detail.
Okay.
So the only thing is if you really worked, you can get it.
Okay. What about question 8, ma'am?
Question 8 is a good question. Again, I will grade it as like 9 type. Right, right. Because why? A and B option, again, 95% student will definitely remove C and D. No problem with that because they have given optically
They are
inactive.
going to have a bad time with it.
Right,
yes.
but A and B is skill based.
Right.
So there they will be toppled.
All right, all right. Let's go to question number 9.
Question number 9 is, I will say, easy if they know the apply. Yeah, if they correctly apply how to see RS configuration or 3D structures, they can do it. That is doable. Yeah, wedge and yes.
All right, all right. Question number 10, ma'am.
Question number 10 is, I would again grade it as, confusion. The real carrot is placed in front of you, or those clay model carrot, that type of question. Why I'm saying so? Because students will be in a very big hurry to put such options in which electron withdrawing groups are there on phenol, whereas non-substituted benzoic acid is there as 5.
Yes.
So what they do is they don't see which group is there. They will always, okay, electron withdrawing group, this is better, this is... But they have changed. They are comparing ant with elephant.
Yes, yes, yes.
So even if you give ant AK-47 and say better than elephant, doesn't work, na?
Right, right.
That is what they have done.
And one more is also there. What is here? The student has to be distinguished between the phenols and acid.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And number 2, they have one more doubt also they will get. That is third option, that is paranitrophenol, and 5th option benzoic acid distinguishing also they should do. Otherwise the question is more typical.
Yes.
Right.
That is the difference of the third. What is the typicality in the question? 3rd and 5th option distinguishing. I think so. Is it right, ma'am?
True.
That is what you were
All
discussing.
right. Okay, sir, over to you. What about question number 11?
Yes, ma'am. This question came from the chemical kinetics chapter. Previously, in the last 2-3 years or last JEE Main also, the question most of them that is typical level. But this question is looking very easy. Just by substituting that data in the first order kinetics, they will get the answer.
All right. It's an easy question. Basically.
Yeah, easy question if they know the formula.
Okay.
Application knowledge, the student having that, they can do. Not lengthy calculation, more typicality in this question.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's go to question number 12, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Hybridization it is, right?
Yes, ma'am. This question actually comes under chemical bonding chapter. But when you go for the JEE Mains level, this question is beyond the JEE Mains level, we can say. Because one of the point here is given that ammonia and tricyclyl ammonia both are having the same hybridization, the student may think. But they have to know there is a back bonding like that. Then only the student can do that. That means some of the people, those don't have, I think they don't have the knowledge regarding the back bonding. They recall that point, then they may do the mistake in this question.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. All right. So thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much. Let's go to question number 13.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
over to you.
Question number 13 is again list 1, list 2.
Yes.
But this is better than the past list 1, list 2.
All right.
Like mechanism, they are asking in the second column. Student can do error in hurry, particularly for electrophilic addition and electrophilic substitution.
Substitution.
These two words, and definitely when actual paper will come, there must be options having these two there. So
Right.
if they make such options, if they frame options, then there could be issue.
Right.
Otherwise, I think not a big deal, but options will trap them.
All right. Options would be confusing.
Yes,
All
options
right,
will
ma'am.
definitely be confusing
All
for
right.
them.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Sir, over to you.
Yes,
Question
ma'am. Yes,
number
ma'am.
14.
Yes, this question actually comes from, I think, the thermodynamics, and that is called also thermochemistry.
Yes.
Actually, this is the one of the only question, most typical and lengthy one in the total paper, entire paper.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the most lengthy one.
Yeah, most lengthy means
Okay.
when compared to other questions. This is the only lengthy one.
Okay.
And then the student having the knowledge on the enthalpy of formation and enthalpy of combustion, then only they can do. I think so. It is the most lengthy one and calculation one in the question
Calculation
paper.
heavy question.
Yeah.
Okay,
It may takes, I think, 3 minutes, more than 3 minutes also be. Because the values are very high, lengthy values, that is 3.395 grams and 101.11 kilojoules, like that. It is the lengthier one.
Okay, okay. All right. So basically,
Yes,
question number 14 seems to be very lengthy. You have to be very, fast with the calculation and as well as very attentive
the
as
student
well.
may get a wrong answer also.
Correct, correct. Let's go to question number 15, sir.
Yes, this question number 15 is under organic chemistry quantitative analysis and a regular question, but generally in previous examination sometimes they went for the what is that question lengthy process, but in this question the calculation is very easy. And easy calculatable, what is that, what values are given.
Okay.
That's why the question is easy then.
Question is easy because the
Yeah.
calculation becomes
Because
easy.
known
Right,
question, regular question, known question with a easy calculation.
right, right. Let's go to question number 16, sir.
Yes, 16 question is again out of syllabus.
Okay.
Since P black elements, actually we have up to general characteristics.
Right, right, right.
But in this question they asked about the allotropes. Actually allotropes are not there. That's why, yes, Corona
Right,
onwards,
right.
so that was because of that lengthy paper, what is the chemistry, they have removed some of the topics from the P black. It is also one of the removed topic, but even though it was appeared means we are also shocking this.
All right, ma'am. What do you think? What would be your reaction to the NTA? Like, will they remove or will they give the grace marking for it because it is not of this?
They
not
will do
at all.
neither.
They won't.
They'll not do anything.
They won't do anything.
Okay.
Because they consider that as
out of syllabus thing, they have never out of syllabus thing. I don't think they ever responded.
Okay.
So
okay.
it's
Any mistake is there, they consider that as a what is the deletion one. Otherwise, they will continue.
They'll continue with
Yeah,
the question
absolutely.
paper. All right. Okay. So let's go to question number 17.
Yes, ma'am. Question number 17, like there are 2-3 questions in the total paper, entire paper. And this type of questions, actually complex compounds, every year the same questions are repeated question only. And the students also can do easily.
Easy
and there
question.
is no ambiguity in the given options also.
Okay,
By
okay.
looking at 1 or 2 options, first and second option, they can go for the
They can
next
go
options
further.
also.
And
Correct.
nickel complexes
Yes.
are like favorite.
Favorite
Yeah.
complexes.
Students
Yes,
are very
ma'am.
comfortable with
And the
this type
given
of
ligands also be not very ambiguity
yes,
ligands also. That's why the
Scoring.
scoring one.
scoring we can say.
Perfect. Perfect. Let's go
Yes,
to
ma'am.
question
Yes,
number
ma'am.
18.
Question number 18 is a little bit confusing. Actually, it is the memory based question. That's why we have to go for that as a group reagent for the cations analysis.
Yeah.
Then according to the given knowledge, it should be the 4th group. That's
Yeah.
why for the student, under those student having the memory, what is regarding the total
Right,
group
right, right.
reagents, then only they can do. Otherwise,
Right.
for a normal student, they cannot do. I think
They
so, ma'am.
cannot do.
Yes,
True,
ma'am.
True, true.
Now, I will say this question, if whatever we got 4
Yes,
options are correct,
Right.
2 people will do error in this.
Right.
Those who have been very good with the
good.
topic, they
Yeah.
will also do error.
Yeah.
Which have more knowledge.
More knowledge
Yeah.
will be because they will think
Yeah,
all
they
are
will-
All the
correct.
options are correct.
Yes,
Thinking they will
and
do the
those
answer
who
as
are underinformed will
Yeah,
also do
they'll
the
also
error.
do
Yes.
mistake. All
So
right.
only the smart people will move out of this.
Of this question. Okay. All right. Let's go to question number 19, ma'am.
Question number 19 is like decent question, I'll say.
Decent?
Even if they don't remember the specific ortho effect in benzoic acids, then also by the nature of the group also the same answer is coming.
All right. All right.
So this is like, okay, even if you don't know,
You will be able
you
to
will be
perform, you
able
will
to
get-
do overall, right?
Right.
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 Yeah, so that much
Right.
is enough for them to, move out of the question correctly.
Perfect, ma'am. Sir, over to you. What about
Yes,
question
ma'am.
number 20? Again,
Yes,
it's from
the same
coordinate.
question like 17th. And same way, But here the ligands are somewhat typical for the
Right.
student. Unknown complex is the C option. That's why the student may get somewhat little bit confusion. Is that strong ligand or weak ligand? Okay, there is no
Absolutely.
options regarding to that. That's why they can go for option A only. That's why there is no confusion.
All right.
Yes,
all right.
ma'am.
Okay, so let's go to question number 21, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This question number 21 is regarding to the ionic equilibrium chapter, and that to be buffer solution topic. And there is no much more lengthier and just easily what is that calculatable. But the students should have the knowledge on the limiting reagent and balancing of equations. Then only they can do. Otherwise, for a normal student, it is a higher level question.
Higher level
But for the
question.
what is that other little bit having the knowledge regarding the buffer solution and calculation like that, they can do.
Okay, all right, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go to question number 22.
Yes, ma'am. The question number 22 is regarding to the periodic table. And this is based on ionization energy. Simple question. Just by doing the 2 steps, they can just subtracting by one, they can get the answer.
All right, all right. So with that, we are done with our all 22 questions that we have discussed today. All these are memory-based questions. We do not claim that all these questions were asked in the examination, but this is what we have gotten from the student.
Yeah,
right?
a little here and there you can
would
expect.
be, right. Okay, ma'am, if I have to ask you about this question paper, how would you rate it on a scale of 10?
I will rate it better than the morning though.
Okay.
Yeah, better than morning. Definitely,
Right.
it is around 8.5 because
8.5.
yeah, because at times it has few twist and turn as compared to the morning one.
Yeah.
So I'll rate it better, but again, maximum question again from NCRT.
NCRT, yes.
So read NCRT.
Yes, read NCRT. All right.
And one more time, give time to chemistry.
Correct. Absolutely.
In
true.
preparation also and in examination also.
Right. All right. Over to you, sir. How would you rate this question paper?
Yes, like madam, what she said, that is correct only. Above, below average paper, that means that moderate paper, 8 to 8.5 rating. And what the madam said is that they're NCRT based and memory based points are there. While the real students are writing examination, they have carefully read the questions. Then only they can get the best marks.
And for
In,
that, they
yes,
have to
ma'am.
give time to chemistry.
Yes, time to chemistry.
The
In a hurry,
usual
we have to
perception.
complete the chemistry and going for maths and physics.
Mathematics or
In a hurry
physics.
itself, the most of the toppers also losing the marks.
Yes.
Even though the question looks very easy. That creates that. Every time the students are thinking that we have to complete it by 40 minutes or 30 minutes like that. To save that time, they are going in a hurry. And this type of papers, if whenever appear, the students are going very, very hurry manner and they are losing marks. This is my suggestion. I think so.
One line I can say.
Yes, ma'am.
In one line I can say, hadbad mein gadbad. So if you will be like, jaldi,
Right.
then you will definitely.
You may end up doing mistakes.
Lot
because,
of negative marking
Yeah.
will be gifted if you are in too much of hurry.
Yeah.
So just, you may do less number of questions, no problem.
Right.
More accuracy.
More
Accuracy is the key to clear or have a good rank for mains, for any exam, I guess, right?
Exactly.
Right.
You know, usually what people do is the sequence of preparation should be, first you should have a very sound knowledge.
Yeah.
Accuracy should be achieved first, and then you should go for speed.
Speed, yes.
Now what most of the people when preparing for these exams, they do is they think of 75 questions, they mainly target on speed,
Yeah.
and then they come to accuracy.
Right.
But if they go for the opposite orientation, then they have to repeat their years for mains.
Correct.
It becomes a little unfortunate if the first speed and then accuracy.
Yeah.
First, we need to learn how to drive a car. Then you can increase the speed. If you increase the speed first, you will have accident.
Yes, ma'am. For
Correct,
a topper or a smarter student, accuracy and speed, they should be like a rails of a train. Then only they can reach the destination. That is that.
True.
Yes.
On that note, thank you so much for joining us. If I have
Thank
to
you.
put down in a single line, I'll just say that accuracy is the key. And as sir has mentioned, speed is equally important for examination like JEE Main, right? So both has to go in sync, right? With that note, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. With that, we are done with the question paper discussion of 4th April, second shift. See you in the upcoming question paper discussion. Till then, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome back to the Narayana Group of Educational Institutions. I'm Deep Jyoti, and as you all know that we are running a question paper discussion series of JEE Main, and today we are going to discuss 4th April Shift 2 question paper. We'll begin with mathematics, and for that we have a very famous Rakesh sir with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Right. So when you first saw this entire question paper, what was your reaction to it?
Question is not easy and moderate, and some of the questions are difficult and very good.
Alright, so basically the question paper is moderate. Alright sir, let's dive in deep inside each questions. Please tell me your reaction to question number 1.
Question number 1 is this is the questions based on the system of linear equation in 3 variables and saying infinitely many solutions, very common and most popular concept from last 20 years. So this I will count in the easiest one.
Alright, it is the easiest question.
Yeah.
Alright, let me tell you one disclaimer that all these questions are memory based questions that we have received from our students. Alright, so question number 2.
Question number is non-negative integral solutions. We can't apply directly the formula. Little is the case we have to make, and is we can say the moderate one.
Okay.
And is the known concept in the booklet, Narayana booklet. This question is given is the known situations.
All right. Basically, it is a known question, right? Not an uncharted territory.
No.
All right. Let's go to question number 3.
Third is very easiest. I will count easiest, and based the logarithms base and the infinite geometric progressions. Easiest one question.
All right. So third is easiest. Okay. Question number 4, sir.
Fourth is also easiest, and but be very careful in the calculations.
All right. So calculation should be.
If you do the calculation mistake, then answer will not come.
Correct. Correct. Question number 5.
Question number 5 is a cubic polynomial and 2 roots are given. One root is imaginary, then other will be the imaginary root exist in pairs, and then integral is there. So the moderate one.
All right. A moderate question. Okay. Question number 6, sir.
Is the moderate one. The similar kind of questions also given in NCERT book, but little twisted.
Okay.
And the same idea is given in the Narayana booklet, and multiple times came in the JEE Main, and earlier it came in the JEE Advanced also.
Okay.
But slightly is the changed.
So there is a slight change. Basically, it's an NCERT based question, but there is a slight change.
And the multiple times came this idea
it is a PYQ, right?
Yeah, PYQ ideas.
Okay. All right. Let's go to question number 7, sir.
7th is easiest one. This is the statistics is asking the standard deviation. Is the formula based?
Formula based question.
No. Okay. But be careful in the calculation.
Calculation, yes. Question 8, sir.
Question 8 is given two parabola, right? And axis of the parabola is along the this one is x-axis, right? And asking the area enclosed by the curve. So we have to integrate with respect to, if we will integrate with respect to y, then it will come. Then be careful in the calculations.
All right.
That is the easiest.
All right. So basically we have seen all the questions are easy, but again a couple of questions are calculation heavy. So you have to be very careful with the calculations. All right, sir. Yeah. With that, let's go to question number 9.
This 9 question is very good questions in this paper. One of the best question of this paper. And is doable if the student understand very in-depth concept, then they can do it.
All right. Basically, did you see that smile in sir's face when he talked about question number 9?
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
It's because the question is easy and nice.
Easy,
not easy.
Not so easy, question. Right? If you understand, right, slightly directly you can't apply the formula here. If you understand the geometry also, then you can do it.
So basically, you have to use your brain to, solve it.
In the coordinate geometry is the based on geometrical understanding and the reasoning between geometry and algebra. If you understand the reasoning between geometry and algebra, then you can do this question.
Right. So basically there are multiple concepts.
If you just memorize the formula and you will try to do, then it's not possible.
Not possible, You have to, this is actually a question in which there are multi-concepts applied and you have to use the concept, both the concepts to solve
in the geometrical understanding, because coordinate geometry is the geometrical understanding is important.
All right. Let's go to question number 10.
Also is a very good questions. And question is difficult, but this idea is known, and that idea is given in our Narayana booklet.
Okay.
If you have attempted Narayana booklet, then we will say the question is moderate. If you have not seen this idea earlier, then it will be considered difficult.
Are there any different concepts involved in this question?
No, not the different question, the known concept.
Known concept. All right, sir. Question 11.
It's very good questions based on the graphical understanding. Two functions are given, piecewise functions is given, and one part is the exponential function, another part is very popular quadratic equation x square minus 5x plus 6. First you have to plot the graph, and then you have to add with their restrictions.
Right.
And if you are friendly in the graph plotting, then you can do it very easily.
Okay, all right, works. Now let's go to question number 12, sir.
Is very known concept and very easy one. The location of roots, the graphical understanding of quadratic polynomial, then doable, easy.
Doable and easy question. Okay, question number 13.
It's complete 13 is the question based on the shortest distance between the two non-coplanar lines. So NCERT based question, directly formula based.
All right, directly formula based.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 14
is asking the maximum value of the some trigonometric functions is given in the right side with angle is x by 2 and cos x. So after deuterium is moderate one.
All right. With that, we are done with all our 14 questions what we have received from the students. Sir, if I ask you to rate this entire question paper on a scale of 10, be it on the difficulty level or the level of lengthiness, how would you rate this question
Greater
paper?
than 6, less than 8.
Okay, 7?
You can say depend on the student.
Yeah,
also.
depend upon the students. Okay, so 6 between 6
yeah, but
to
greater
8.
than 6 and less than 8.
All right, sir. Now, if you have to give one piece of advice to the future aspirants who are going to appear for this April session, what that would be?
And be careful in the calculations. And the JEE Main questions are not so easy and not very difficult also, then easy to moderate questions. And some of the questions, the calculations, be careful.
Yeah.
Then sometimes the student do mistakes in the calculations.
Right.
Then score will decrease. Right. So be careful in the calculations.
All right. So the crux is that be careful with the calculation and the questions are doable. They are not very difficult, not very easy. Be confident. The questions are doable. And just use your brain while doing the calculation because that's where you make mistake. With that, sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.